To tell someone.
But there's nobody engineering.
No, the door's still closed.
So we're not streaming.
No.
And also, I guess I just had a call from Norma Kent on the, I'm running back and forth between one room and another. This is madness. This is lunacy. This is par for the course for this company. This is exactly the way these people run their business. Like a bunch of crazy people. And there's one name I can give you that I don't know, maybe they'll dump this one too, Joyce. She's the one who's behind all of this latest overreaction and insanity. Now, are we going to know whether these... if we're going to have a new list of names and things and words that we can't say...
Where's the list?
Yeah, where's the list, okay? I think maybe our middle management flunkies ought to be, like, frantically typing up a list of things that I shouldn't be talking about. Names that we can't mention, people we can't refer to, all of these things. You know what I'm saying?
All of these things.
Right.
Subjects we dare not breach.
Subjects we don't dare broach, all of this stuff. Caving in just like folding like an accordion, like I said. It's not bad enough that we're already under this super regulation where we can't say much of anything, where they've turned the clock back 20 years. Stuff that we played on the air for 20 years plus that we can't play anymore. That's not bad enough. But now, and to be honest with you, at this stage of the game, I have got no idea where to go with this show today. None.
Well, the stream is up.
The stream is up. Well, that's good. We're streaming on the Internet. For anybody who missed it in the beginning, I'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff, but they'll dump it. I'll repeat what I said in the beginning of the show, and they'll dump it. You see, because here's the way I look at it. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you have an agreement with somebody, and they claim that you're not that you violated it, then why the hell should you continue violating it? In other words, if they feel that they can go ahead and start their old madness again, then why the hell shouldn't you? But let me say it again.
Where's the list?
Where is the list of prohibited words and names and subjects, and everything is taboo now on this show? How about those heats? There you go. Do a sports show. That'd get Clarence all excited. Quite frankly, I didn't think there was any sports being played right now. Is there? I mean, the NBA I don't consider sports. Is there any sports going on?
No. March Madness.
Oh, that's right. The NCAAs. Let's talk about March Madness. How about this hurricane? Oh, that's right. They lost. Well, you got the NIT. That's pretty exciting. Huh? And everybody whipped up into a frenzy about the NIT? Or is it the NOT? Not. Wow. Just absolute crazy people. I mean, we knew before 9:57 this morning that we were dealing with crazy people. Now, what was Hank told? Well, what happened with Hank there in our crossover? Because I noticed he just kind of disappeared.
I think he was looking to talk to you. I had no idea.
Yeah,
right.
Somebody went in and body blocked him.
It must have been. I think it must have been Duff and Clarence to body block the humper. That would have taken. There's no one person in that building could have handled that assignment.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was just a panic. I'm hearing a beeping on my fax machine, but there's nothing coming over. Is that something you're sending me? Maybe that's the list.
Where's
the list, the new list of names and prohibited words and topics and subjects and this and, that we can't talk about here on QAM. I'll tell you one thing. If I was Tom Jicka, I'd be on the phone to me at 2:01 this afternoon. Well, I got a great story for him. And nobody's going to prevent me from giving it to the media. Nobody. I mean, if they want to censor me here on the show, it's their, I was going to say it's their license, although quite frankly, I don't think they got one. Oh, look at this. Did you just send that to me?
Yeah, coincidence.
Wow. Oh, this is special. I'm just going to leave the one name out. This is great timing. This actually put a smile on my ugly puss from Joan Fleischman's column in the Herald. Over the holidays, Coral Gables residents Howard and Shelley Gitlow decorated the yard of their San Vicente Street home with a bare-breasted blow-up doll wearing a red Christmas elf's cap. Naughty, not nice, says the city beautiful. Slapped with a zoning code violation, the Gitlows are fighting back. The complainant is who lives near the Gitlows. The doll, he says, is a sex device. He filed off a bunch of emails to Howard Gitlow, 57, a University of Miami management science professor, copied Coral Gables city officials and UN President Donna Shalala. How thoughtful to link a fashion aid to the spirit of Christmas, says this individual. This guy thinks he has the right to assault our 12-year-old son with his prurient, says another. Gables code enforcement officers Adolfo B. Garcia ticketed the Gitlows on December 20th under Section 1817 of Coral Gables City Zoning Code. It prohibits pennants, banners, balloons, and other attention attractors. Garcia noted on the ticket, displaying an offensive inflatable doll.
Absolutely correct, sir.
An offensive, not just an inflatable doll, but an offensive one.
Oh, my gosh.
Shelley Gitlow, 54, says the doll display was her idea. Holiday humor. I'm a screenwriter, she says. I have an active imagination. Neither she nor her husband thought it was offensive. It's a blow-up mannequin. The Gitlows are contesting the citation and appeared. Now, this is an old story. This is from January 26th. It says they had to appear in City Hall February 9th before a ticket hearing officer, and et cetera, et cetera. So we don't know what the resolution of that is. Maybe we'll find more about it. Huh? But we certainly can't talk about anybody involved in other than the Gitlows. Unless their name might be on the list, too.
Where's the list?
Okay, I'm looking for the list. Oh, no, this is from Big Tim. Says, I've had Sirius for about a year and a half, and I'm dying to hear you uncensored. Oh, hey, listen, uncensored is like, I don't even want that. I just like to go back the way it was on Friday.
You're like English.
Right, just to be able to speak without peeing in your pants on every other word. Oh, see, there he goes again. As for the whole management of QM, without Neil, I personally have no reason to turn your station on again. No fading, no beeps or lost dialogue. I don't think I'll be alone in this either. I'll keep my fingers crossed and hope for a quick buyout, says Big Tim. Well, I mean, I thought that there were discussions going on with Sirius anywhere they're supposed to have been, but in lieu of that, in lieu of something productive and progressive and that really could have been sensational for everybody, instead of that, as usual, we have the Joyce corporate overreaction and psychosis going on today. And if you tuned in midstream, we were going to do the usual show that I got my whole pile of stuff and our polls and all the pictures, and we got Melissa George on the website. Although, quite frankly, I'm not so sure we ought to have that on there either, right?
Now that you mention it.
On that beaded curtain. We might have to give you, like, everybody their own private password to get down the beaded curtain to make sure we checked ID first.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't, we could be in big tourists.
Listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Do you have a heart or a liver?
No Canada, no NHL this year. Pro hockey's gone, a hoser's greatest fear. No Avalanche, no Maple Leafs, no Red Wings, and no Stars. The only fights in Canada will be inside the bars. Hung off the stage, I'll sit around and cuss. No, Canada, basketball's not for us. No, Canada, NASCAR is not for us.
Remember Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy. We got Greg and Joyce and Greg. We got a match made in purgatory, make no mistake about it. And we're all suffering the fallout. Anyway, here's the poll from Friday. Who's your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly? Now, wait a minute. Could I do that anymore or what?
You know what? You don't.
How about a big, juicy one like that? Can we do that now that we're being monitored?
You don't have to worry about it because when in doubt, they'll dump it out.
Oh, that's right. When in doubt, they'll bleep it out.
Just relax.
Oh, yeah. Just relax my ass.
No, not that.
Oh, can't say that either?
No, then you'll make another sound.
I still don't see. I mean, they got the fax number here. They could be faxing anything they want to do, but no input, no information. Just don't do this, and that's it. Of course, I don't know what they said. Did they say don't do? I don't know what did they say.
Don't.
Oh, don't. Whatever it is. Elvis Presley had a song called Don't, and I guess that's going to be our theme song now, QM. Whatever you're thinking of doing or saying, don't. Don't say it. Don't do it. Don't think about it. Don't breathe it. Don't. Oh man.
As a matter of fact, I've got some nice instrumental religious music.
That would be good.
To be on the safe side.
Wouldn't it be soothing?
Right. Oh, absolutely. This one's a requiem. How appropriate.
Mm-hmm. That's what today is, man. It's like funeral for QAM. Wait till that next trend comes out. You think the last one was good? Wait till you see this. Oh, I love it. Now, if we can just make some pancakes with real butter.
It could be arranged.
Wouldn't that be great? By the way, Krispy Kreme is poisoning the audience, the building there. They got 80 million boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts in there.
Hey, I ate a whole box.
Did you really? No, you didn't.
I swear.
What is there, like 9 in a box?
Dozens.
A dozen.
A dirty dozen.
You didn't eat a dozen donuts.
Oh, buddy, I did.
I thought I smelled something all the way up here. Can you smell it, folks?
It's diabetes.
Wow. Josh. Although we better not make any more reference to that because that sounds like you know what kind of activity to me. So govern yourself accordingly, okay? Do not make any reference to any kind of, smells.
Oh, I see.
We asked on Friday, who's your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly? Steve Buscemi came from behind and won 221 to Charles Bronson 193. Humphrey Bogart, a respectable third, 125. Little Danny DeVito, Mr. Mancini Martini. 101, a nice fourth place. After that, Rodney Dangerfield, 90, Christopher Walken, 63. If I read all of these, this should take us to 11 o'clock. It's a nice, safe list, by the way, Duff. Don't worry. Don't get into a panic. Christopher Walken, 63. Barbara Streisand, 55. Walter Matthau, 36. Whoopi Goldberg, not Hank, but Whoopi Goldberg had 34. Serica Jessica Parker, 33. Marty Feldman had...
About 30, man.
Woody Allen, 27. Kathy Bates, 27. I'm not going to read these all. Too many. Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman, 25 apiece. James Woods and Boris Karloff, 24 apiece. I'll just do the 20-plus. Don Knotts and Edward James, almost 21. And Billy Bob Thornton had 20. Gene Wilder and Ed Asner bubbling under with 19. Well, they were so close to 20, right? I could read the whole list, but it would be really ponderous. I said we got Melissa George on the beaded curtain today. Let's take a look at Melissa, born August 6, 1976, which makes her almost 29. Not quite. Almost.
About 30, man.
Not quite. Born in Perth, Western Australia. She dropped out of high school at age 16, and take a look at her now on that beaded curtain. She's making Derailed right now. Don't be doing that.
Oh, sorry.
Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy or what?
Well, I hope they dumped it.
Dump it. When in doubt, dump it out. Bleep it out, okay? Bleep it, bleep it, bleep it. They got both of them a lot of practice when Stern was on, and now we're bleeping this show. I can't wait for him to start bleeping the Ed Kaplan show. That'll be good. In fact, I think what's coming soon, if Joyce has her way, we're going to be dumping Sporting News Radio from 2 to 5 in the morning. How do you like them apples, huh? By the way, did I mention I saw those 2 movies over the weekend? I didn't mention that on the air. I mentioned it off the air long before when we thought we were going to do like a radio show today. Casino, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen Casino. It's really not very good. Did you like it?
I liked it at the time that I tried watching it again, and it was not as good. So it was like
it's Joe Pesci doing his Boca Brian routine. The same person, Pesci and Boca and Pesci, the same person.
I thought it was insightful. If any of it was true, about the goings on.
It was insightful?
About the goings-on, all that backroom shenanigans.
We had a million of those casino-type movies. Although, let's see, that one, I don't know, that movie's about 10 years old, whatever, 7. And I saw it when it first came out, and it was okay, but seeing it again, I have no idea why I watched it all the way through. Mm-hmm. No idea.
No time?
That must have been it. But I did watch it all the way through, and it ended I don't want to spoil the ending for you, where he's got the big glasses on, he's sitting there, he's back in San Diego, he's handicapping a horse's way, and he came out okay, and everybody else is dead, Mm-hmm. Plus, I don't like that narration thing. I can't stand it, like in Goodfellas,
Right, it's for...
And in this movie, it's narrated alternately between Joe Pesci and De Niro, and then Joe Pesci is still narrating when he's getting killed, which I find kind of bizarre. His brother gets it, and they do it, and they bury them alive, and I just...
Well, he had a good perspective on that.
Yeah, it was timely. Just like our little notification right before the show day. It was very timely. They ought to kiss the microphone in the ground and their buttons that I'm still here right now. They ought to be kissing each other. They probably are. Any lesser of a man would have just gotten up and gone into the other room and gone back to bed and just said, hey, you do it. Just screw you. In fact, you ought to be real happy yourself.
I'm ecstatic. Not that I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. And would you have blamed me if I'd have just said screw you and, I'll let the lawyers all work this out?
Would you blame me if I played
seriously,
music?
folks, you have no idea. You think you know something. You have no concept. I'm not embellishing. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making it up. These are certifiably crazy people. I'm talking about all the people involved in these latest shenanigans. All of them on both sides, all sides, whatever side. They're just crazy. They're nuts. And it just never stops. The panic, the hysteria. I'm going to tell you right now, even after they finally got Ferrall off, after they finally kicked his ass out.
Careful how you say that.
We made a comeback. We had Joe Rose in there. We got a big spring book in there. Everything, we made this phenomenal comeback. Everything seemed to be we were going to survive that $55,000 fine for Ferrall, and everything looked like we're, hunky-dory. Oh, and by the way, would somebody tell Bob Schieffer that on the CBS Nightly News you don't say okie dokie? Oh,
I gave up on it.
I swear to you, on Friday, he got a report from one of the CBS reporters out there in the field, and they came back and he said, okie dokie. And I thought to myself, you people at CBS, you're not going to see a tear from the CBS side. You're going to see a flood of tears. You're going to be drowning in it. Okie dokie. Wow. He is... Now, you thought Defoe was corny. This man is just an old Yahoo cornball, Bob Schieffer. So I'm done with CBS. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely not going to watch Brian Williams because he's a Rush Liquor fan.
Right. No, I'm on Peter Jennings.
So I guess I'm going to be on Peter by default because I don't like Peter Jennings, even a little tiny bit. I don't like ABC News. Their whole presentation is kind of like stale, There's something about it. Anyway, Melissa George, did I ever get through with her? She's doing Derailed right now. The Amityville Horror, which definitely did not need to be remade, is completed. Is that out yet?
I think. I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know. The original one was, who was that? James Brolin was in it?
I don't know. I didn't like that one either.
I'm not saying I liked it. It was horrible, but it didn't need to be remade. Alias, the TV series. She was in that. Down with Love, Lost in Oz, Thieves, Newport South, Mulholland Drive. She was good in that. That was a good movie.
Did I see that? I don't think I saw that.
Oh, come on. That was great.
Was it?
Yeah, really bizarre.
I'll check it out.
Sugar and Spice, The Limey, Dark City, Holly Weird, Fable, Roar, Home and Away, just a whole ton. I was going to say Schmittlow, but I'm sure that they'll dump that out. What?
Don't say that.
Well, what's wrong with that?
That's just too close.
No, it's close to what?
Close to home.
I need to know, okay? We need to have better specifications. We need to have better instructions. We need to... No, you're laughing like there's something funny about this. This is pathetic. This is absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, it is.
Where's the list?
Exactly. Boy, oh boy. I mean, you talk about hysteria and paranoia and overreaction and psychosis. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
All in a nutshell right there. You got it all. Hysteria is us.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
About the truth.
Oh, I do. Hey, good to see you, Rusty. Say hi to Judge Webster for me. Hey, folks, it's great to be here at the Santa Maria Courthouse. Hello, jurors. Hey, I've got good news and bad news. Yeah, the good news is you don't have to go to work today. Of course, the bad news is you're Michael Jackson's peers. Yeah, I feel for Michael Jackson. No, I really do. I mean, I wouldn't want my future in the hands of 12 people who weren't even smart enough to get out of jury duty. Oh! Hey, look over there. It's Michael's attorney, Thomas Mesereau Jr. Hey, by the way, Thomas, Edgar Winter called. Yeah, he wants his hair back. I know. He's got a tough job for it. I mean, it's got to be tough to defend Michael Jackson, right? I mean, seeing as how the only person who thinks he's innocent is Geraldo. Hey, stick around. We got a great trial coming up, and after the break, believe it or not, the Dancing Edos. Oh, wait. No, wrong trial of the century. We'll be back after this.
Man, is he a panic or what, huh?
No.
It's pathetic. 1046 at 560 WQAM. I'm just going to continue and do the show. And to hell with Duff, and to hell with Clarence, and to hell with Joyce, and to hell with Greg, and to hell with the other unmentionable parties. I hope you all rot in hell together, okay? There's a special place in hell. See, when you bring to their attention certain legitimate problems, they can't deal with those. They can never get, like what you were talking about in the studio being trashed this morning before you came in.
Mm-hmm.
Another weekend party, all the stuff being rifled out of there. But
looted.
And the sales department, all these things. Can't deal with those things. But when it comes to overreacting to crap, the same crap that's been going on for years and years. Oh, my God, the sky is falling and Greg's upset and Joyce is having another period. Yeah, right. Hey, Joyce, blow it out your rectum. You idiot. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That'll never get on. Now, you were both you and Josh there were ear witnesses. Weren't we told that we were being monitored for possible FCC violations now?
Correct. That's right.
Now, is it an FCC violation to say
rectum
or Schmidt? I mean, I know guys. I remember Joe Schmidt used to play for the Lions, middle linebacker.
There are a lot of things that we're not allowed to say that are not FCC violations.
Oh, I know that, and of course that's Joyce who just like she's doing today, makes it up. I think today has been a real awakening for me, and you know what I need? Like I've been saying for a long time, a real attorney. I just read another email from Norma, Norma Kent. And and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Hey, you better get your settlement first, Norma, before you worry about getting anything done for me. Okay? This whole business, this whole insanity that we're contending with, could have been taken care of a long time ago in a variety of different ways. As far as appeasing whoever it is that bent out of shape with us. But no, not that. No, let's not sign off on all of this and finally end it all. I think there's a certain amount of enjoyment. Didn't I talk about that a couple of weeks ago?
Right.
About this, the movie The Hitcher with C. Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer and the spitting in the face scene. I think there's a certain amount of sexual, emotional excitement going on there that this will never end, this madness. Because I would be perfectly ecstatic if other people are going to violate an agreement. I'd be delighted to come on the air. And as I tried to do in the beginning before I kept getting dumped, this is going to start sounding like the Stern Show. It's going to start sounding like a piece of Swiss cheese. At no point did anybody ever tell me that I couldn't use certain names any names on the air. Did they? Did you hear it?
No, not before the fact,
No. And so if that's going to be, but it's like you said, it's typical. She just keeps making it up as she goes along. This is a woman who has no background, no experience in broadcast radio. She's a flunky is what she is. Trying to show corporate just how she's going to handle this. Well, you've handled it real well so far, honey. You've done a hell of a masterful job. You damn near blew all of us away, me and Hank and the Mad Dog, with those contract negotiations. That was mighty pleasant. Anyway, here's our poll today. And the reason I'm doing this poll today is because I had a different poll I was going to do, but everybody and their brother, this is the new thing they're talking about, especially after Condoleezza made her 18 appearances on the Sunday morning talk shows yesterday. Oh, and I'm not running for president and blah, 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 and all this other crap. But now, of course, the speculation is because if anybody says they're not going to do it, that automatically we're supposed to assume that they are, right?
Right. It's like the Messiah thing. I'm not the Messiah. Oh, then you must be.
Right. If Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice ran for president in 2008, who would you vote for? I got 4 choices on here for you. And here's what we have so far. 449 votes. That's because I put it on there early again because I thought we were doing our usual show today, but come to find out we're not. We're doing Beasley Broadcasting goes crazy again. Beasley Broadcasting loses their composure, loses their cool, and starts lashing out in all directions because Joyce is a dunderhead, a knucklehead. I got news for you. It's not anybody on the outside who's our biggest enemy. It's Joyce over there in Naples. That's the one we have to contend with. And just like you said, she's got this list longer than your arm of all of these words, all of these things that we can't say, that have nothing, not even close to FCC regulations. And, of course, do we have anybody in the building who's going to go to bat for us?
No.
Who's going to say, oh, gee, I think you're way over the line, Joyce? No. We got a bunch of yes men, a bunch of wimps who are, of course, monitoring right now. And that's exactly, of course, what our leader wants, because that's the only way he could be there, just to surround himself with a bunch of yes men. Oh, yes, Greg, whatever you say. Oh, Greg, it's a lawsuit. It's a suit, Greg. But whatever, you know. It's very sad. This could be one hell of a radio station. And at various times, it has been a few moments here and a few moments there. But, you know, they never leave it alone long enough for that to, like, settle in, for it to percolate. 449 votes on the poll already. 456, like I said, if Hillary ran against Condoleezza in 2008. I think that'd be great. Now, I could be wrong, call me crazy, but somehow even those rabid Republicans in the Deep South voting for and she's not really all that dark, but nevertheless, we know that she happens to be dark-complected.
Right.
Condoleezza.
Her heart is dark.
She's got a dark, well, that we know, forgetting about her skin color, we know that. Hillary, 267, of course, keeping in mind it's this liberal Neil Rogers crowd. I'd leave the country 103. I don't blame you. Condoleezza, 56, and wouldn't vote at all. See how many say that?
About 30, man.
30 out of 456 votes. If you tuned in late, you're lucky. That's all I can tell you this morning, okay? We have more corporate shenanigans going on, more hysteria, more Joyce psychosis on the West Coast. Here's a good story, though. I like this from Amsterdam. A Dutch cafeteria owner using piping hot French fries to fend off a gun-wielding would-be robber, police in the southern city of Helmond said on Friday. Fries or frites are a national snack in Holland and Belgium, where they are deep-fried in oil, then salted and eaten with mayonnaise and chopped onions. As they say in China, fait. It was not known if the culprit, whose age was estimated at 16, was burned. He had threatened the owner and his wife with a handgun. Thursday night, police said, "Oh, brother, now they're wielding guns in Amsterdam. There's no hope." He wanted money, a police report said, but once he had hot fritas coming his way, he decided he had had enough. He succumbed to the hot fritas. The fries were cooling in a pot when the owner threw them at the intruder. Police described the youth, who was still at large, as thin, white, and with a plump nose. Oh, that narrows it down a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it might have been the mayo that did him in. Got some bad news for all you UM fans. I could take some calls here, but quite frankly, I mean, just keep in mind you're being monitored, okay? And in addition to which, speaking of being monitored, to show you our brain trust we got going there, did you hear the Mad Dog promo?
Yeah, I did. I was talking to Josh about it, telling him all about the history of that and how...
Yeah, the history behind that, if we had anybody involved in those promos who knew what goes on this radio station, we've been trying for 7 years now to get that little band of Julios, that little circle group, that noon circle group, off the air and off our show and off the whole radio station. And their favorite trick is to, like, call in and drop the name of one of their buddies. We've been hearing the Chris Bush stuff ever since we started on QM. And, of course, you go to great lengths to either dump it or just get rid of them, whatever you can do, because they're chronic no-life idiots who, you know, squeeze each other when they hear, oh, I can't say that. I'm talking about squeezing each other around their shoulders, you know, when they get their name on the air. And so not only do we encourage it by making a promo out of it. How many times does he say Chris Bush, that idiot?
About
30 times in that promo. Of course, Mad Dog's got no idea what he's talking about.
First we fall for it, then we advertise the fact that
Right. Nice going there, Clarence, or whoever's responsible for that stupidity. Boy, I'm telling you.
That's another world. See, the regular radio shows are a world apart.
I see. I was going to take some calls, but as soon as I said I was, they kind of like ran away. As soon as I told them they were being monitored. How do you like that? By Duff and Clarence by the word police. Yeah. So we'll take some of your calls here. 5670560 if we get any. Pound 560 on the Verizon and singular wireless line. I mean, I know line 6. You know what that is. WQAM, hello. QAM. Going once. Going twice. That was it. Okay, that was a medley of our calls so far.
Brilliant.
You believe this?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Joyce. Thanks for making our day. Joyce must be Irish. As a matter of fact, I think she is. That is an Irish name, isn't it?
It could be. It could very well be.
Well, happy St. Patty's Day to you, Joyce, you nasty, hateful bitch.
Can we say
that? Did that get on the air? I have no way of knowing, even when I'm there, if they're in the other... Huh?
We should listen to Post Delay.
Yes, let's just start listening to Post Delay. WQAM, hello. QAM?
They're there. They're being cute.
Oh.
Neil.
Yes.
Neil.
Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes?
I think there can only be one response to this. I think you need to put Joyce on the beaded curtain. Can you imagine her with 1920s bloomers?
I got news for you, sir. We'd be on death row in federal prison if we committed a crime like that.
Oh, my God.
From what I understand, you don't want to see Joyce, even with the clothes on.
Butch lawyeress, huh?
Okay.
Hey, in closing?
Yes.
Reddick is gone.
Who is?
I don't know.
Oh. WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you? I'm sorry to ask this. I know how you're doing. Very bad, I imagine. I want to ask you, how does QAM buckle down to just one person?
Because they're a bunch of wimps. See, when your attorney is Joyce, when she's your corporate attorney, that's why we continue day after day, week after week, month after month of being in this position where we have to keep, rolling over and playing dead.
I just don't believe this. I mean, you, I imagine, are the highest rated there, and you're the highest rated for one reason, and that's because you have the best program and everything, and then these people don't respect that. They don't
care about program. They don't care about ratings. All they care about is that they're scared to death. They're in over their heads till they're drowning and they're peeing in their pants, and June Allison ain't even around now.
You're listening to Neil
Get
Rogers.
to the pen, sweetheart.
Exclusively on 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Yo, listen up, there's a series that tried to be real and had a couple of swear words. And Dennis Franz was teamed with David Caruso, Jimmy Smith, Rick Schroeder, then Mark Paul Gosselaar. And then one show, we saw his big naked buttocks and it was scary. And everyone threw up and turned the channel. But the show stayed on for 12 years, even though nobody watched it. It's blue, NYPD blue blue, NYPD blue is true, NYPD blue blue, NYPD blue is true, NYPD blue blue, NYPD blue is true, NYPD blue blue. It's blue, NYPD blue blue, NYPD blue is true.
I know everybody raves about the Dennis Franz in that show, although I never watched that show, so maybe he was great and maybe not. But his performance in Dressed to Kill was abysmal at best. It was bad. I know I mentioned that, but it just he was pathetic. It's a good movie, but he was horrible in it. Remember that? He was the cop?
I don't remember his performance. So
well, you're lucky.
Yeah,
513 votes on the poll. Hillary against Condoleezza in 2008. Wouldn't that be great? Hillary 309. I'd leave the country if that was the case, 117. Condoleezza 62, and wouldn't vote 37. And, of course, our polls, at least politically or any issues, they mean absolutely nothing. Like we saw on the slots thing, where 90% of our people said they voted or would vote yes. Maybe just a lot of those people didn't bother voting. Or maybe their votes didn't get counted. One never knows. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier about just walking off. I was hoping that you would just do that I would just hear a big mic just going boom, and you and George just walking off the show.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
I mean, how could this guy terrorize the whole radio station?
Because they let him. That's how anybody can do it. Because when you're dealing with people who don't know what they're doing, with people who are cowards, with people who scare very easily, that's the way it works. That's the result you get, as opposed to people, saying, hey, cut the crap. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. 9:56 this morning, a moment that will live in infamy. It's just like Pearl Harbor all over again. A horrendous blast to my mental existence. And, of course, being preceded by saying, oh, well, we know the timing of this is real bad. And, of course, my great attorney who was on the phone, I only found this out a little while ago when he called here, 40 minutes with Joyce before this happened. Now, wouldn't you think I'd have had a heads up from him about this as opposed to finding out 9:56 from Clarence and Duff that we have, oh, the sky is falling, we're going to monitor your show, and everybody's peeing in their pants, and Joyce is having another beer. Wouldn't you think that would have been a more intelligent way? But my agent is too busy being a baseball star. He's too busy being a radio star on FTL, being Joyce Kaufman Jr., whatever. Former Lions defensive back Benny Blades is scheduled to appear in court today after being arrested for failing to attend a hearing in child support case, the state attorney general's office said over the weekend. Benny Blades. How's Brian doing? Oh, sorry. Blades was arrested February 17th in Broward after missing the January 7th hearing and taken to Michigan by authorities for the appearance in 36th District Court, said Allison Pierce, spokesman for Attorney General Mike Cox. I'm sorry, for Attorney General Mike. Blades attorney David Burgess said neither he nor Blades received the notice of the hearing in January, and Blades has not missed any of the 14 other court dates since the child support case began. Blades joined the Lions in 1988, played 9 seasons in Detroit before Seattle signed him in 1997. After the Seahawks released him the following year. You know, I just had a great idea. Now that we have 2 other people, see, we already have like 6 delays, and thanks to the Stern experiment, which was a disaster, we already have like 6 30-second delays. We're at about a 45-day delay. In fact, this show that you're hearing today is we originally did back in November.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, since we got these 2 people, they don't have much else to do anyway, I'll start just throwing some of those words in there, you know?
Just to keep them awake?
Yeah. At least it'll justify, yeah.
Caca.
Oh, I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking of something that's similar to that. Anyway, Blades, but I'm not giving them no ammunition, see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we haven't been doing anything for a long time that even comes close to the borderline of FCC regulations, but don't let that confuse Joyce with the facts, okay? And the fact that they were willing to succumb to this, oh, yeah, whatever you say. See, that's the kind of management we have, weak need. Mostly vanishing, but weak need. And so at a time when our management's supposed to be talking to Norma Kent about the serious situation, about us simulcasting our show on satellite radio, and like branching out and really doing something productive and a lot of fun and really great that would be good for the show and good for the station and good for our lives. As opposed to that, it always comes to this. These people could take a wet dream and turn it into an agonizing experience. They could take a birthday party and turn it into a wake. They could take Christmas and turn it into Yom Kippur. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
That's their specialty. Misery is us. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Kathy Bates is the same person as Joyce.
I heard that.
I would like to see her. I would like to see her break Greg's kneecaps, though. I'd pay to see that, just to get back at him for all those lies he told back. Back in December. Anyway, Seattle signed Benny in 1997. After the Seahawks released him the following year, Blades, a former University of Miami standout,
oh my God,
moved to Plantation, where he worked as a substitute teacher. During hearing Friday for a conference on his case, Blades told Circuit Court Judge G.N. Stempian that he's trying to get a certificate so he can become a full-fledged teacher. He pleaded guilty in August to failing child support. At one time, he owed nearly $300,000 in child support to the mother of a young girl. The girl is one of at least 6 children Blades has had with 6 different women. He likes to spread it around. Cox charged Blades for failing to pay child support in November 2003. If Blades meets the term of the plea agreement, the plea was expected to be withdrawn. The charge would be dismissed. Suspended the sentence. How do you like that? He's got 6 kids with 6 different women.
Oh, variety.
Yeah, spice of life. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless line. My mind is just racing in all kinds of directions now. Just racing around like a guinea pig in a cage, a hamster, like a gerbil in a cage. Oh, sorry, I can't say.
No, can't say cage.
WQAM, hello.
Neil, how you doing today?
Okay, I'm doing just great.
I think it's time we get our passports handy because this country is now a quasi-fascist.
Yeah.
I mean, they're offended by, you might say, one word or a little sound, but fake, phony news.
Well, first of all, let me just say this to you. The FCC didn't say anything about fart sounds. That was Joyce again, okay?
Right.
See, the audience of this station has been conditioned, unfortunately, to think that all of these things that we've been prevented from playing and doing and saying, that this is to comply with the stricter FCC regulation. No, it's just this one person in Naples making it up as she goes along who has absolutely no background in broadcast law whatsoever. Zero. None.
Well, I think most of the people running our broadcast companies now have no background in broadcasting.
Yeah. Well, no, most of them are grave robbers.
And it shows, and I think I think America is gone. It's gone. I think
I'm gone. That's why I'm gone, man.
It's just an idea that's a memory.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we do about it, but
passport office, Pally.
Good luck to us, I guess.
While they're still giving them out.
Take care, Neil.
Okay. Because you know how that goes in fascist countries. A lot of times they, oh, I'm leaving. Oh, no, you're not.
No, we have ways.
Yeah, we have ways of making sure you don't leave until we're ready. WQAM, hello.
Yes, QAM.
QAM.
Hey, Neil, hey. I was listening to your station and hearing a poll about Clinton and, what's your name, Rice running for president.
Clinton and Rice, yeah.
Yeah, I think if that goes through, I think Nader will end up winning with all the stupid votes we get from Florida.
5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless line. Now, that was one of our quality calls. I hope that they monitored that very carefully and very closely. You know what I'm saying? I hope they're right on top of it. Although from what I'm hearing, they probably are. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Just a comment about Benny Blades. don't you think that maybe after, like, the fourth or fifth time around, he may have said, you know what, maybe I'll use a condom this time?
No.
And he must have
He
really
likes
gone
spreading it around, baby. He wants to be like George Washington. He wants to be the father of our country.
He could be the father of a few countries if he doesn't use a condom soon.
Uh-huh.
And he wants to be a substitute teacher. He must have blown a lot of cash in his years playing because I got news for you. Substitute teacher doesn't pay very much. And he must really need the money.
Yeah, evidently. Okay, good luck to him, pal. Not. 5670560, pound 560. That's one hell of a classy family, no mistake about it. Maybe he can go visit, what's her name, Ashley Smith, and she can make him some real pancakes with real butter, talk about God, read some quotes from the Bible.
Right, Bible, take a shower.
Take a shower together? Well, not together necessarily. She is. Oh, look at that.
But he started to know who I was.
Oh, I'm telling you, talk about a feeding frenzy. These people are insane. They're obsessed with this story. Just obsessed. I think CNN and Joyce are in the same boat. I think they're both going over the edge today together, in a banana boat together. They're just off the wall with this thing. All weekend long. And now that they got these series of interviews with this broad, with this blonde bimbo, it's like, she's a simpleton. Oh, but she's a hero. She's a simpleton. She's a silly person. She wanted to go into a room so she could read the Bible. Typical. What would you expect in Atlanta anyway, right?
Well,
Yahoo! That's what you'd expect, and that's what you got. And then once they sat down and started talking about the Bible and God and pancakes with real butter, then he really saw the light. And these things that she's saying about him, like he just wanted a little normalcy. That's all. Yeah, he just wanted some normalness to his life. That's a direct quote. Listen, when morning, look at the two talked about the Bible. She handed him photos of her family, her dead husband and her daughter. When morning came, Nichols was overwhelmed when Smith made him pancakes with real butter. He told her he just wanted some normalness to his life. And you know something? That's what we want here at QAM. You go, girl, Ashley. That's what we want at WQAM. Some normalness in our frickin' lives is what we want. I'm sorry, in our frickin' lives. Yeah. I remember Ford Frick. He used to be the commissioner of baseball before Clarence was born. You know Clarence, the sports expert? 12 minutes after 11 at 560 WQAM. I think I'm getting a real nasty sore throat, you know?
Are you?
I'm envisioning at least like a month of being out with like some horrible crud.
Well, we got nice requiems at Ferrall Day.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, if we just had some nice buttermilk pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
With real poisonberry syrup.
Nice and normal.
I'll tell you one thing, we can only hope. Oh, that's right, Josh had a whole box of them. I was going to say, well, maybe somebody doctored some of the other, some of the other pancakes, some of the other donuts. Well, what inspired that? Well, how come the Krispy Kreme showed up with
an event or something going on?
There's some kind of a special thing going on?
Mm-hmm. Anniversary, something.
I see. Wouldn't it be a shame if, like, some of them were, like, poisoned with some arsenic and stuff like that? And if some of the people that we like a lot in that building start, like spewing out all kinds of noxious crap all over the floor and just gagging and puking and dying a horrible death. That would be very bad.
Yeah, Joyce, not me.
No, I just said your box was okay. That's what Duff said. 11:13 at 560 WQAM. The main man. See, now, I want to tell you one thing before this continues. This whole, how are we going to know what's getting on here or what's not? I don't want, if this is going to turn into another Howard Stern thing where every time I say anything, every time I fart silently here on this end, we're going to have the dump on me, then I want to know about that right now, because then I will play music. If that's the game they're going to play, then I'm playing music. I'm going straight to my good friend there, Burton Cummings.
Careful.
What?
We don't know what Burton's going to say. After all, he's Canadian.
Yeah, that's true. He's from Calgary, eh? He's from Winnipeg, eh?
I say instrumentals only.
He's a hoser from Winnipeg.
See, can't say that anymore.
No, that's right. Can't say hoser. The main man, Anthony Caliendo at Acceptance Capital Mortgage, knows that paying off your credit cards, lowering your debt, cutting your mortgage payments, pulling out cash, investing in real estate, all of these things are at the top of your lists. Now, Florida continues to be one of the hottest real estate markets in the entire country, so it just doesn't make sense to keep so much equity tied up in your house or pay those outrageous high interest rates. The main man is partnering with kids in distress, helping abused and neglected children in South Florida for 25 years, and this year his staff is donating a portion of their commission on every single closed loan for this worthwhile cause. With 6 kids of his own, the main man knows how important being a parent is, so call the main man toll-free 1-888-483-LOAN. That's 1-888-483-LOAN, or go to themainman.com and fill your application out online. No matter what your situation is, he'll find a solution for you and get the deal done. So forget about calling anybody else in the mortgage business if you want the deal done right and the way you want it. Call the main man, Anthony Caliendo, today, 1-888-483-LOAN. That's 1-888-483-LOAN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM. This is a very special CSI Dublin.
Top of the morning, Officer O'Grissom.
Aye, and the rest of the day to yourself, Officer O'Willows. What do you say we find the murderer?
Aye, right after we finish these pints.
On St. Patrick's Day, everyone's Irish. And on CSI Dublin, everyone's a suspect.
Okay, Hurley, we think you poisoned the victim with your corned beef and cabbage. You can't prove anything, O'Grissom.
We're still going to take you down to the pub for questioning.
CSI Dublin. It's one happy hour of television.
Here's to a fine job catching those murderers.
Murderers? But we only got one, O'Grissom.
And Begorra, O'Willows, I must be seeing double again.
I'll drink to that.
CSI Dublin.
Okay, let me just click send here on this email to Norma. Let's face it, Norma, you're full of it, like usual. It's 11:19 at 560 WQAM. Churchgoer. Now, see, this is the story that they should have played up big, but for some reason the media doesn't barely even talking about this anymore. It's like it happened, and now we don't want to talk about it.
We don't want to talk about it.
Even though 7 people died and the shooter himself. Of course, shooting, all kinds of shooting stories. In Margate, Lauderhill Mall, just everybody in America is like... It's gone nuts all at the same time. Must be those violent video games, don't you think?
That's it. See, there was no murder before those existed.
That is correct. The man who police say killed 7 people and himself during a church service at a suburban Milwaukee hotel was remembered by his neighbors as a man so gentle that he couldn't hurt an animal. Kind of like Tony Perkins. Remember the last scene in Psycho?
That's right.
He wouldn't hurt a fly. Unless it was, of course, on Tab Hunter's pants. When chipmunks got into Terry Ratzman's garden, he set up traps to catch them, but his neighbor said he kept the animals alive and let them loose somewhere else. He couldn't even kill a chipmunk. He was that kind of individual, said Gene Herman, who lived next door to Ratzman for about 30 years. Ratzman arrived at the service late on Saturday armed with a handgun and opened fire. His victims included the pastor and his teenage son. Chandra Fraser. Oh, not Chandra. I thought they found her ass.
And the rest of her, too.
No, maybe the rest of her is still around. Chandra Fraser, who was at the service, said the gunman started shooting shortly after the service began. He even stopped once to reload. She said she was sitting in front of a family he mowed down. It was mayhem, she told reporters outside the hotel. I dove under a chair. The man whose chair I dove under died. I'm asking myself why I'm still alive. Ratzman was described by neighbors, here comes the best part, as quiet and devout.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. See, the fact that it was a churchgoer, I mean, all of these evil people, they're supposed to be always a bunch of heathens, and if they would just turn to God, like, what's his name there in Atlanta?
Oh, I forgot his name.
I don't know his name either.
Ashley's boyfriend.
Brian Nichols.
That's it.
Ratzman was described as quiet and devout. He liked to tinker about his house and garden, said Shane Caldwell, another neighbor who knew Ratzman for about a decade. Ratzman lived with his mother and sister in a modest 2-story brown home about 2 miles from the suburban Milwaukee hotel, where police say he opened fire during a service of the Living Church of God. Living? Surprise! Not no more, you're not. Police were interviewing them yesterday. Ratzman went to church every Saturday, Caldwell said. He wasn't a dark guy. He was an average Joe. Well, that Brian Nichols was kind of a dark guy, but this one wasn't. It's not like he ever pushed his beliefs on anybody else. But a church member who was at the service when the shooting took place said Ratzman seemed depressed to her. Frazier told CBS News that Ratzman was upset by an earlier sermon from another preacher. Ho-ho! That can't be, can it? Ratzman built his own greenhouse. A neighbor said he shared his homegrown vegetables with him. Caldwell said Ratzman raised trout and designed a system in which he used trout waste to fertilize his greenhouse plants, including tropical plants and Venus flytraps. That's Venus, by the way, Duff. Venus. Then recycled the water back into the fish tank. He also built his own garage. A week ago, Caldwell helped Ratzman fix his truck. Herman said he took good care of his house and 3 dogs. He never bothered nobody around here. He said he brought me over a zucchini that was about 1.5 feet long, Caldwell told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. We ate it for a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some zucchini.
That sure is. Robert Blashik, another resident of Ratzman's modest New Berlin neighborhood, said Ratzman was a drinker, but he couldn't believe he might be violent. He was the quietest guy in the world, the nicest, said Blashik. I would never have believed this in a million years. Well, isn't that the way it always is? Beware of the real quiet people. Right. The real low-key, quiet people. Like Ed Kaplan, for example. You know, Eddie K is very kind of low-key, real quiet. One of these days, though, more crap happens in that radio station. Eddie K is the guy. I would point to him first. Point to the quack guys. Wouldn't you say so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm getting a real bad sore throat. I think I'm getting strep throat. You know, the kind of thing that has you on the sideline for about 2 months?
You're getting stress throat?
Stress throat, yeah. 601 votes on the poll, Hillary and Condoleezza. If Hillary and Condoleezza ran for president in 2008, would that be great? What would you do? I'd vote for Hillary, 351. I'd leave the country, 136. Condoleezza, 72. And I wouldn't vote 42. So it's 351 to 72, Hillary and Condoleezza in our left-wing commie pinko crowd. At least that would assure our first dyke president anyway. Now, can we say that? Dyke? No? Okay. Are you getting any further update as to what is going on in there?
No.
Well, don't you think we at least deserve that? Don't you think we
really
deserve a
want
little
to
better clarification? Because when all that crap happened in the first few minutes when I decided on my own, and by the way, I now have an authority from Joyce that if I want to do that, I can, but I'm not going to. Not today. I'll give them 24 hours till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to get their act straightened out and decide what the hell they want to do and if they want to just totally capitulate and just hand the keys to the kingdom over to anybody they want. I mean, that's up to them. I just would like to point something out to the audience, okay? I'm not the one who decided to put Scott Ferrall on the air, and I'm certainly not the one who decided to put the Howard Stern Show on this station. And that's not a shot at Howard. It's just speaking reality the way it is in this community, that's all. When you've been around a long time and you know what's going on and what's going to happen and the repercussions and the penalty you're going to have to pay for it, and didn't I say many, many times on the air, wasn't I called in the middle of the show one day to go in the other room and put you on the air for 5 minutes so I could take a frantic call on behalf of Greg from his intermediary Duff? Remember that day?
Yes, I do.
Does Neil know something about the Stern Show? Somebody else pick it up? No, it wasn't that I knew anything. It was just common sense that it was going to be a mitigated disaster for all of us. And we're all, the rest of us now, paying the price for it. You see, there's one guy in the building. He's the Teflon manager, and no matter what it is he does, it just like stink on Uranus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know if we can say it.
Well, and we never will know. We'll have to find out from the audience how much of the stuff's getting on the air or not. Now, if you're right, though, and we're streaming the post-delay, then Eric would know. Maybe Eric can get...
according to Eric, we're streaming pre-delay. Even
though right!
I did have a discussion with them about, how unsafe that would be, not because of the profanity, but possibly libelous things.
Right.
And that was months ago.
And they don't care.
Apparently not.
I see. Well, they have bigger fish to fry. They got to get that sales manager off his ass. You know, Curtis? Because Curtis is very sensitive, and if we talk about him on the air, I don't want to be the subject matter for a whole week. I'm not coming in there and talking to him, that fat bag. Yeah, that's a good excuse, Curtis, why we have the same stale copy, and we've got a sales department that we wouldn't wish on Hitler. 26 past 11 at 560 WQAM on an unexpectedly depressing and morbid and psychotic day here, just out of nowhere, out of the blue, at 9:56 a.m. this morning, came yet another psychotic episode from the West Coast, from Joyce, by way of Duff and Clarence, the Flunky Boys. Fritz and Franz Beer House in Coral Gables is bringing... Now, can I say Coral Gables on the air?
I'll go check.
Okay. Fritz and Franz Beer House in the Gables is bringing Bavarian-style fun back to South Florida. Why not come by and say Guten Tag? We better check if we can see that. And sample some of the most delicious German Bavarian cuisine anywhere outside of northeastern Europe. Schnitzel, bratwurst, salads, and strudel, all in an atmosphere that would make the Von Trapp family proud. And don't forget the Warsteiner Leder boots. It's enough beer to get your lederhosen in a knot, and I'm sure we can't say that. Fritz and Franz isn't only making the hills come alive with the sound of music, it's turning the Gables into a veritable little Frankfurt, because at Fritz and Franz, it's Oktoberfest every single day. Located at 60 Merrick Way, just a block west of Miracle Mile, it's the ideal meeting place for those of you who like to march to the beat of a different tuba. So call 305-774-1883 for directions and monthly Warsteiner Beer Festival information, and tell them that Old Neil sent you by. That's 305-774-1883 for Fritz and Franz Beer House, not your ordinary oompa place, as Rick Riley would say.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
I looked up Heine's.
Chips and turkey leg, but that was before she took up with Jenny Craig. She's losing weight under that purple dress, getting ready for her Showtime debut with Fat Actress Kirstie Alley's back.
Oh my God.
Gotta love her attitude. Kirstie Alley's back. Got an addiction to food. Kirstie Alley's back. to Vaseline all of the storefront doors. But now she's losing weight, we all agree. And she's doing it by eating Jenny Craig fettuccine. Kirstie Alley's back. She's no longer laying low. Kirstie Alley's back. And laying off the cookie dough. Kirstie Alley's back. With a brand new TV show.
She is disgusting, man. I just can't begin to... there are no words in the language, and certainly not ones I can use anymore, now that we can't say crap.
Yeah, but that show sure wasn't funny.
Oh, brother, she is just... and you haven't seen that spot yet with the purple dress where she's doing the Jenny Craig spot?
I've been very lucky, apparently.
Chocolate cake. She says it in such a way as if to hold up a sign that says, am I not the most disgusting fat pig you've ever seen in your life? And the answer, of course, is yes. God, she is just nasty. I mean, it's one thing to be fat, believe me, I know all about that. But it's just another thing to, like force it on. Like this is my life. I'm fat and I'm going to, lay it all over your body. What a thought that is. Grotesque. And that's why she's got her own show now, The Fat Show. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. If you're wondering, I'm sure the audience is kind of like in a dilemma here today. I just got a paper cut, by the way, during the break. And that should be
nice.
at least 2 months paid vacation there.
That's right, workman's comp.
Paper cut on my ring finger on my right hand.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Tongue is the worst place.
WQAM, hello.
Neil, can I still go?
No, you're done. You're out. I'll guarantee you that gets dumped. WQAM, hello. Not there. 5670560. Not getting much response here today because, of course, the show has been turned inside out. And this audience hasn't got any idea what's going on. And quite frankly, neither do we, which makes it a match. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? We all need to get serious, man.
Yeah.
All right. I hope I can hear you pretty soon in serious. I'm waiting
I got news for you, Pally. With the agent that I got, who's busy, more worried about his 2 hours on WFTL and worried about I should have done this and I'm going to do that. It's just impossible, man. You just feel you want to throw your arms up in the air and say, screw it. What's the use? Every single time in this radio station, every time you think we finally got things calmed down a little bit, we finally got the lineup in place, everybody's out at the same time they're supposed to be, and no, it never comes down to earth. And I'm going to tell you once again, and there's not even a contest. The biggest enemy of this radio station isn't somebody out there in the public, no agent provocateur. The biggest enemy of this radio station is Joyce. Now, I did my best to restrain from going into too great detail. I mean, I blurted out some of it. Of course, you couldn't help back in December and early January, and most of January when they were jerking around Mad Dog. But what they put me and Hank and Jim Mandich through, and it was all Joyce. All Joyce. Where the hell they found this woman to bring her in there to destroy this company, I have no idea. But you're doing a hell of a job, honey. You haven't got a clue. You have no idea what it is to do a talk show. You have no concept of what the FCC regulations really mean. And you're just continuing to make it up as you go along. You continue having a lot more lunches with Norm Kent, okay? That's going to solve a lot. You continue making up lists of 85,000 different things that we can't talk about, we can't say on the air, and reasons why we can be fired if we fart the wrong flavor or look at somebody cross-eyed, Joyce. You are the problem. You are the chigger in the woodpile, honey. There's not even a doubt about that. And by the way, where was Joyce when they decided to put the Howard Stern show on the air? She was there.
Right.
Yes.
I'm sure she's the one that suggested the triple dump system.
Where was she to intercede and say, you know something? Knowing what we know about that market and about certain individuals and about the history of all of this and what we've already been through before, knowing what we know, this is a really bad idea. A really bad idea. And why didn't she put her big club feet down then, just like she was trying to do when she was interfering with everybody's contract negotiations? Why didn't she do it then when it might have done something productive, as opposed to practically chasing everybody on the staff away? You don't got it, sweetheart. You haven't got it. If I were you, I'd get back in your little pickup truck, and I'd get on a Hershey Highway and go back up there to Maryland or Virginia, wherever the hell you came from, and get out of our face before you destroy the whole company, you idiot, because you're doing one hell of a job. They're monitoring now. They're monitoring for FCC violations. Duff and clearance, which at least, like I said, gives them something to do. Speaking of gunmen, how many of these stories are there? This weekend. It's like everybody went nuts on the same weekend. Maybe the moon was in the wrong phase or something. Margate, a 7-hour standoff that began with a security guard shooting up his ex-girlfriend's apartment included a police assault with tear gas, ended in a fire Sunday, made the national news, by the way, that apparently killed the guard and displaced at least 100 people, police and witnesses said. The body of a man matching the description of the guard was found in the rubble of the fire, the BS said. and an autopsy will be conducted to determine the man's identity and cause of death. The ex-girlfriend hid in her bathroom as the security guard pumped 10 to 13 bullets through the front window of her ground floor unit at the Cross Creek Apartments. Cross Creek, we know where that is.
Right by Cripple Creek.
But she wasn't hurt, said Margate Police spokesman Sergeant Andy Zedek. I wonder if he's related to Andy Zulik.
Who?
The security guard then ran across the courtyard to his second-floor apartment and barricaded himself inside, said Zedek, who would identify the man only as head of security at the complex. Like I said, look out for those religious quiet people and for those security guards. Oh, man, they're the dangerous ones. Neighbors, court records, and newspaper articles identified the security guard as Dan Magno, 40, a man with a zeal for his job who is known as Batman because of the enthusiasm for the superhero's memorabilia. Batman, my ass. You see that one? That was one of the sequels. Batman, my ass. Magno had headed security at the complex for 13 years and lived in the same U-shaped building as his former girlfriend, had an argument over the phone with her about their 5-year-old daughter just before 10 o'clock yesterday morning. The woman, whom police did not identify, also had a man inside her apartment, and neighbors, family, and co-workers say that might have set Magno off. Sounds like O.J. and Ron Goldman again, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Scott Autry, no relation to Gene, 12, who lived 4 doors down from Magno's unit, saw him pointing a gun about a foot from his ex-girlfriend's window. He started to shoot. I ran inside and told my mom, Autry said in a telephone interview during the standoff. In the afternoon, SWAT armored team members wearing black fatigues took positions on the stairs leading to the second-story apartment and fired tear gas canisters that crashed through Magno's windows and exploded in plumes of white smoke. At about 4:45 p.m., deputies shot another round of tear gas into the apartment. The sheriff's office described what happened next this way. The suspect was then heard yelling that no one was coming into his apartment shortly thereafter.
The only, the original Law and Order. But if you do miss it, you can watch the new spin-off Law and Order Trial by Jury on Thursday. Or if that's inconvenient, you can catch Law and Order Criminal Intent on Sunday. And if you miss all 3 and don't have TiVo, there's always Law and Order Special Victims Unit on Tuesday. And if you happen to miss all 4, TNT airs Law and Order reruns like 10 times a day, so they've got you covered. Oh, and USA? Well, they rerun Special Victims Unit like 24/7. I'm not kidding. It's like Law and Order channel over there. So, if you do miss the one Law and Order you can't miss, it's no big deal, because Law and Orders are like buses. Another one will come along in 10 minutes.
It's 11:45 at 560 WQAM. We got Mo Howard David at 2 this afternoon. Mad Dog at 4. We got a pristine lineup. No ball games, no UM basketball because, well, you know. Geldy at 7. Proving that nothing is perfect, and Eddie K at 10 o'clock tonight. That's our award-winning lineup as it is today. Tomorrow it might be different, though. I might be taking a few months off. 667 votes. If Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza ran for president in 2008, who would you vote for? What would you do? Besides put a bullet to your brain, what would you do? Hillary, 392. I'd leave the country, 153. Condoleezza, 78. Wouldn't vote 44 out of 6, almost 700 votes. Get a lot of votes on there. That impressive?
Yeah, all right.
I'm impressed by the fact that you and I both, when we heard that Chris Bush thing on that Mad Dog promo last hour, thought the same thing.
I told Josh the whole story just to bring him up to date.
Here we got these boneheads are busy monitoring us now as if they have any clue what it's really all about, and they're putting stuff on here. People were desperately trying to divest ourselves of, and they're putting that on here and repeating it over and over and over again. Chris Bush, Chris Bush,
Not
Chris
that that's
Bush.
new.
No, of course not.
Our rejects find homes elsewhere, here or there.
Oh, well, here's a fax from Jay who says... I hate to say it. Oh, no, Jay, I see that you're absolutely... So you are...
Absolutely
This was
correct,
the biggest mistake I have ever made in my life. Remember that one line I kept saying, what's going to change, what's going to be different?
Right.
We won't out getting into it yet, and I'll read it. But I see the one sentence about the worst mistake of my life was re-signing with this bunch of nose-picking Yahoo rednecks over there in Naples, man. These people, they would know a radio station if you shoved it inside their earlobe.
Nice choice of words there.
Well, I don't want to get dumped again.
I commend you.
Yeah, well, probably got dumped anyway. Hey, I have no idea. They're probably just dumping stuff based on the fact they don't want it to go on the air because they're all scared of their own hinds, you know. 57 flavors, that's what Duff says. And Josh told him that was tasteless. That's Josh Cordes, by the way, told him. I hate to say this, says Jay, and hopefully you can tell me if I'm wrong, but the only person to blame is yourself. Re-signing with QAM was a gargantuan blunder on your part, regardless of the financial terms. The situation was as predictable as the sun rising. And, sir, you are absolutely correct, sir. Your talent has put you on the map, and you're letting WQAM filter, suppress, and destroy your ability. I think you're a smart guy, so it shocks me that you re-signed with this card house of a radio station, especially with the possibility of individual broadcasters being fined large sums by the government. In my opinion, you should have bolted for satellite radio. I'm a big fan of the show, but QM has made it so watered down, it's not as necessary to listen to it as it once was. Get yourself here comes the most important part of Jay's facts. Get yourself a real agent, because to end your career like this is too painful to witness. Going out like a clown is what he's trying to say. Going out like a sad sack of crap, like Howard Beale. QAM's logo should be black skull and crossbones because their management decisions are poisonous. Big fan with tears in my eyes, says Jay. And Jay, you got your thumb right on it, sweetheart. You are absolutely, positively correct. Right. Whatever possessed me? And, of course, the fact that I don't have a real agent, and I had no confidence that this guy was ever going to get any deal done with Sirius XM, a pop-up toaster, and I still have none. I still have zero. You don't even know about some of the deals that were going on behind the scenes that never materialized, that I wasn't even told about by my hotshot agent.
Huh.
Yeah, that of course fell apart at the seams because bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop, and this one did this, and that one did it. Yeah. See, this is another thing, the kind of outrageous stuff that's gone on during the 7 years we've worked for this company, from the OJ golf tournament to the Condoleezza business, the restitution song, all of that episode there, that almost all of us got thrown under the bus for that. See, the bottom line when you work for this company is sooner or later, somebody's got to get thrown under the bus. Right, Duff?
Yes.
Right. Somebody's got to be a scapegoat, because it's never going to be Greg. He's got the naked pictures. He's got something going somewhere. God only knows what it is. How anybody could have made this series of consecutive bonehead decisions that this man has made in the last 3 years and continue to be employed is just a shock, astonishing to me. It's mind-blowing that anybody could survive this. A series of debacles that most people would be on death row in federal court, federal prison, federal case. Am I right? I don't want to get you involved because we know that he hates you already.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, Jay. It really, and I'm, why not admit it? There's nothing to deny. Bonehead move, man. Had to be a fool to expect that anything would ever change with these mugwumps. They are what they are. Just like Michael Corleone told Vincent in Godfather 3, you are what you are. Man, what a great line that was. A crappy movie as far as dialogue, but that one line, you are what you are. Maybe not all that profound, but boy, it sure fits right in with this outfit. They are what they are. They're not going to change. They're not going to learn anything. They're not going to improve. They're not going to wake up one morning and grow a big pair. It's just not going to happen. And knowing that ahead of time, what in God's name motivated these people to put the Howard Stern show on this radio station with 15 people monitoring and 75 dump buttons and bleeping out every time Howard farted for real or make-believe? We giveth and we taketh away, just like the Lord, We're just like God. Tell Brian Nichols that. We're just like God. That's why we have that, that drop-in. Mm-hmm. Because we giveth and then we taketh away. Here you go. Here's some of the Stern show. Not a whole bunch of it, but here's some of it. And then we had it on. How long did we have that thing on? August 16 was the day. Trust me, that was the debut date. I remember that, a day that will live in infamy. August to September to October to November to December to a what? What was the last day for that?
I forgot.
It's about 4.5 months we had that on the air. How long was Ferrall on the station? 4.5 months. That seems to be it. 4.5 months. How long was Joe Rose on from 8 to 10?
I don't know.
I think about
4.5
7.5 months.
Oh.
No, 7.5. Got you there. Things were going so swimmingly well that it was scary. They can't handle success at this place. They can't handle prosperity. They can't handle big numbers. They can't handle happiness, serenity, peace. All they can handle is just never-ending psychosis. It's like a crazy house. It's like our close personal friend Bellevue Bryan said.
I hate this place.
Right.
Nothing works here.
No.
The medications don't work.
No.
I've been here for 7 years.
Yes.
Nothing works here.
No.
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years. I hate this place. Nothing works here.
7 till noon at QAM. Another shooting, by the way, at a Unitefest at Lauderhill Mall. What the hell is Unitefest? Probably it's in the story. Huh?
Never heard of it.
Left 3 people injured late yesterday. The same day the city received national recognition for the annual event. Sergeant Tundra King. Tundra. A spokeswoman for Lauderhill Police said a man was in critical condition. A woman and another man appeared to have non-life-threatening injuries. She said the victims were transported to Broward General Medical, and police detained 6 men who they suspect were involved in the incident. King said it occurred at about 10:25 p.m. when the festival was shutting down. About 10,000 festival goers were still at the mall, she said, some of them parents pushing babies in strollers. Lovely! She said 15 officers and 3 police supervisors were on duty Sunday night. The officers did an excellent job of controlling the scene, she said. It was teamwork to the highest degree. It could have been a really ugly scene. King said she didn't know what sparked the shooting. We don't know who shot who or for what reason, she said, just before 11 p.m. Detectives just arrived on the scene. She said the investigation was impeded Sunday night by garbage and debris from the event. King said she's worked on the event for about 7 years, and it's always been peaceful. Other than maybe some little disturbances, I've never seen any fights here. She said people bring their families. It's about music, and it's about cotton candy. Oh, cotton candy, that'll kill you. And if the cotton candy doesn't, then the bullets might. United Fest began 8 years ago as an event to celebrate Lauderdale's diversity. Oh, man. Well, there goes. A little problem there. Una problema grande. Take a bunch of calls, then we're going to play music till midnight. Oh, I like it. So soothing. Oh, God, if I had some nice buttermilk pancakes with real poisonberry syrup on them, with some real
buttermilk
butter.
pancakes are really good.
Oh, man. I bet you Condoleezza could whip up a good stack, a short stack, or maybe Ed Stack.
Robert Stack.
WQAM, hello. I miss Robert Stack badly. QAM, hello.
Neil, how you doing, sir?
Okay.
I know you can't let people in on it the first 20 minutes that you weren't streaming this morning. I'm one of those 1,300 people that listen to you as often as I can on the net.
Right.
But is there something you could put on your website to fill in your listening audience?
About what?
What went on the opening Hank show and your show today?
Oh, well, no, nothing went on Hank's show because we usually do the crossover, and just as I was sitting here at 9:56 getting ready to do the crossover, instead of hearing Hank leading into my, saying something to me, all of a sudden I heard Clarence and Duff come on and breathlessly, oh, we hate to do this to you right before the show, but Joyce said that we have to monitor your show for FCC because somebody is complaining and stirring up a bunch of crap again. So we have to monitor your show for FCC violations every day. And so they are monitoring as we speak right now. So you better govern yourself accordingly, sir, and be very careful what you be saying.
Well, there's a name I haven't heard you mention today. I don't know if that's one you can't talk about. Our governor. Have you heard what he did recently?
About what?
I'm in Orlando. Did you hear the mayor got suspended? And he's a Democrat.
Yeah, for what?
Supposedly a crooked election, paying somebody to collect absentee ballots.
What does that have to do with us, sir? I've always said this, and it really just crossed my ass. You people in Tampa and Orlando are the most myopic, the most selfish people. All you know is your little neighborhood, like all the rest of the world cares about that. We don't care, sir, any more than we care about who's on the radio in Orlando, who's on real radio, unreal radio. We don't care. We don't give a flying. How do you like that, huh? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, sir. I mean, what an idiotic question. Does this have something to do with some little, some mayor thing? Well, what has that got to do with Governor Bush, okay, that fascist bastard? We got enough of our own fascist bastards, as in Joyce.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer
Hey, stop it! Hank Goldberg, weekdays 7 to 10. On one station. Sports Radio 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
Good evening. This is A Reporter Remembers. I'm Dan Rather reporting. Tonight, we'll look back at my long, distinguished career as a reporter for CBS News. I can assure you that every fact in tonight's tribute has been checked and rechecked by our CBS News producers, the best in the business. My story begins in a small town in Texas, where I was born the son of poor black sharecroppers. As captain of the football, baseball, and ice hockey teams, I graduated magna, sigma, super cum laude. After graduation at the top of my class at Harvard, I joined the Army and earned several Purple Hearts, which I later asked John Kerry to throw away for me. After touring China as a ping-pong master, I returned home to run across the country twice, invent the smiley face, and start a large shrimp company with my Army buddy, Lieutenant Dan. I purchased CBS in 1962 and hired myself as a reporter. After the death of Walter Cronkite in 1992, I ascended to the throne of anchor of CBS Evening News with Dan Rather, where I remained until I, alone, made the decision to step down after I was duped by my producer into airing a false report, which I wrote. And now, as I pass along the torch, lit by the likes of Cronkite and Merle, to another battle-hardened journalist, probably Katie Couric, I leave you with one word, courage. And two more words, bite me. And that's part of our world, the part that really sucks.
Bye-bye, Dan.
Rather, bitch.
Even Dan's upset with Joyce, and I don't blame him. See, I'm going to say it again. I just read another one of those supercilious emails from Norma Kent, who just continues, quit doing the tap dance, Norma, okay? Oh, speaking of Norma Kent, you know the movie 54? Did I mention I saw that? Or no, I talked about Casino. Show, right? I didn't mention 54. And the only reason I watched it, and I'll admit it, is because Ryan Philippe was running around naked in the whole movie.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there was nothing wrong with that. He looked real pretty. But the movie was horrible. And halfway through the movie, till I realized it was Mike Myers who played Steve. What was the guy's name from Club 54 who died of AIDS?
I don't know.
Steve, that screamer.
Steve
But at any
Irwin.
rate, it was Mike Myers who played him in the movie.
Right.
Now, what was the point I was going to make about that?
I don't know. He did a good job.
But anyway, it was Mike Myers who looked more like Norma Kent than like Steve, whatever his name was.
You know,
really?
I did think that he looked a lot like Norm when I saw that movie.
Yeah, see that?
The character, yeah.
He looked just like Norma.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they must have had a fake nose because I didn't recognize him at all. I mean, Mike Myers is Canadian. We've seen the Austin Powers 80 million times, all of them.
He's the Lon Chaney of our time.
Is he really? He's good, but not in that movie. That movie was just awful. But Ryan Philippe looked pretty. And now the audience is piling on. This is exactly what you expect from South Florida. First, I read and I was very honest. Jay had his thumb right on it. He was absolutely correct, sir. But now I get a fax from Tom who wants to pile on. 15 yards for unnecessary roughness, Tom. Neil, you deserve what you get. Everyone told you it was a mistake not to sign. Get out of your contract, get a real lawyer, and sign with XM or Sirius Radio. Misspelling Sirius, by the way. Giving expert advice. Can't even spell serious. But here's
well, you remember all the fallout when you announced that you signed in the first place. That was like for the first 2 hours of the show afterwards.
What was that?
All these people calling up saying that you're crazy. What are you doing?
Most of those were Howard's people. They were Stern's brother and the other Howard people. Most of it was an inside job.
That accounts for a couple of them.
But they were right. They were right, but if Sirius would have been that serious, then we could, instead of bada beep, bada boop, and then waiting until like 3 months later and saying, oh, guess what, we want to have Neil's show on there. They could have put some, just been a little bit more indicated they were serious. I mean, if that's their name, then live up to it. If you're going to call yourself serious, that's time to get serious, right?
Yeah.
Not half serious, not a little bit serious. It's time to get serious. Because these people here in this company are never going to change. And all of this really started big time. When they started losing it is when this Joyce broad came along. This was the biggest mistake in the history of this business. She is a cancer on my life and my career. I can tell you that right now. And I'm being kind by putting it in those terms. A cancer on my existence. Norma emails me this. There was somebody else who sent them some crap about they don't like Hank and they don't like me. And right away she's overreacting. If you want to get her knickers in a thing, then just call up Joyce over there or send her an email over there in Naples and tell her your mama something. Oh, gee, we're good, Talk about level-headed. Not. Here's a fax that says Norma Kent isn't your biggest problem. Just cut her loose already. She's an arrogant jackass who's more worried about being some kind of local celebrity with the radio show and fag newspaper. Now, she sold the fag and the runaways and the pot stuff. You need a real agent, somebody who does just that solamente. Yeah, and who would that be? Huh? Where's the real agent out there? Where's the real hero that's going to come forward and salvage my whatever I got left, whatever little credibility and humility I got left? Beside this guy who's always telling me, this is all set and this is taken care of. And let me tell you something, by the way, Norma Kent. I would have paid $50,000 to anybody to get them off my back, okay? Sometimes that's what it takes.
Would have been a bargain.
Would have been a hell of a bargain. And a hell of a lot less than those FCC fines, by the way, okay? But no, these people, they're going to stand up for principle. They're not going to let anybody shake them down. Right. That's why we got people monitoring the show today for FCC violations. That's why we can't say crap. Exactly. And, of course, that's a shot at you and Josh there, too, because basically what it implies is that among the three of us, we're not competent. I've only been doing this 100 years.
Right.
The three of us aren't competent to decide if something is over the line.
I absolutely agree.
Which I guarantee you that all three of us, even young Josh Cordes there, who don't even have his ears wet yet, even he knows. In fact, he's bleeped a couple things out that I let go. How do you like that? Haven't you, sir?
How did I know?
Yeah, you did.
What?
There was one day you dumped something out. I forget what it was. Maybe I did, too, but George let it go. Of course, George is a pervert anyway.
What's your point?
I don't know. Killed some good time. It's just, the audience has got to believe that I make this stuff up. They can't. Nobody in your right mind could believe that this stuff could happen. That 4 minutes before you're supposed to go on and do a talk show, which doesn't require it's not like rocket science or open heart surgery. But you have to have some kind of semblance of your brains being unscrambled, and it's like that.
The most common statement or question at any of these appearances that I do, and you can count on one per appearance, is someone asking or saying, how much of that is made up? How much?
I got news for you. I got a pretty livid and vivid imagination. I couldn't make this stuff up in my wildest imagination. Even Edgar Allan Schmo could make this up. 744 votes on a Hillary and Condoleezza poll for 2008. Hillary 434. Condoleezza 80. What's she got? 89. I'd leave the country 171. Wouldn't vote 50. About 50 cents. WQAM. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, yeah, happy anniversary. And you know something? I didn't get a card. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get an email. I didn't get a fax from any of those grave robbers there. What do I get 4 minutes before I go on the air today? I get psychosis.
I will tell you, they 3 emergency broadcastings just came across.
What, on our station?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
All right.
They can play them all day for my part. I'll just take a nap. They can play them all day.
Yeah, one other thing I want to say, thank you for the gift that I got, but the best prize of all was the good-looking secretary that you have working at the office there.
Oh, you mean
he's one of the lucky ones.
Noslin.
Yeah, I'm one of those that won that VIP Friday trip.
Right, well, thank God you came in when Noslin was on there and not the freaky Carlos. You just sued our ass. Okay, good luck, you pally.
Oh, don't say lawsuit. Don't say lawsuit. Oh, Greg, it's a suit. It's a suit.
It's a Brooks Brothers suit, Duff. Man. You're right. Those 2 faxes I read, you're right, but there's no sense in piling on. I mean, it's just it's a cruel and unusual punishment to do that. But those people are right. I am an idiot. I am a fool. I am a moron. No question about it. How anybody in his right mind, with even the tiniest bit of self-confidence and ability, you have to be a
M-O-R-O-N.
Exactly. You said it, Mo. That's what the Mo stands for.
M-O-R-O-N.
Or just
M-O.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why we call him Mo.
M-O.
Yeah, say it again. Anyway, 5670560. I feel like, one thing talking about pancakes, I feel like I got scrambled eggs where my brains used to be, like somebody scrambled my brains this morning. I mean, I can't even imagine the look on my face when all of a sudden those voices came on there, and I'm sitting here ready to join in with Hank there and do our little stereo crossover, and he sounds like, everything's going along fine, and we thought everything's going along, and, we got a butter in the shop, Joyce, like that.
I can imagine the look on your face.
Of horror and amazement and dismay and disbelief. It was positively
unbelievable
and unacceptable and unreal. And unconscionable. But you see, when you're a flunky, you'll do anything that they tell you to do. That's the part. This is if either one of those people ever call this place again, they're going to hear the dial tone so fast they won't know what hit them. If I would have stuck to that a long time ago, I'd be mentally in a much better position right now, in a better state. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
Because I remember another incident where, don't hang up, it's official business. There is no official business at that place. There is only monkey business. Monkey business. No official business, only monkey business. Call up Norma, okay? Send me a fax. Send an email. Send a note in a bottle. Put it in the, hope it'll wind up in Lake Ontario somewhere. Put it in the stream. Put it in June Allison's never-ending stream. But get out of my face, because you people there are crazy people. Just little flunky. It's like, throughout history. I mean, there was the court jester, but then the king always had his, little flunkies that would go and bring the word, the...
Names, peons.
Right. Oh, well, you're going to be executed at 2:30 this afternoon. The king, has a message. I think we ought to, get Vincent send a message, And I'm not talking about Joey Zaza either, even if Wally Hennessy's driving him. 12 minutes past noon at 560 WQAM. Spring is here, just about. And now's a great time to get on down to Armstrong Ford or Homestead for some great deals on new 05s. Right now, get behind the wheel of a Focus or Escape with $2,000 cash back from Ford and 0% financing. How about an Exhibition with $3,000 cash back and 1.9% financing? Check out the 05 4-door Explorer right now at Armstrong Ford or Homestead with $2,500 cash back and 1.9% financing. And don't forget, only when you buy from Armstrong Ford or Homestead will you get their exclusive tires, parts, and batteries for life program, plus a free Florida Sun Pass to boot, eh? Armstrong Ford of Homestead is proud of their servicemen and women. If you're in the military, have a relative in the military, and no matter if it's active duty, reservist, National Guard, or Coast Guard. I'm sorry, that's active D. A military appreciation discount is waiting for you at Armstrong Ford of Homestead, too. David Rich and the staff will do just about anything to give you good service because being locally owned and operated, they want to make you a customer for life, and they will guarantee you, they'll bet you Maddie Bell's life on it, you're going to get the best price only at Armstrong Ford of Homestead. 30725 South Dixie Highway, just 20 minutes south of the 836. Check them on the web, armstrongcars.com, and then you can give David Rich or Victor a call at 305. That's 305-247-5112, 247-5112. Drive a little and save thousands for yourself from Armstrong Ford of Homestead.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
What is Plato's retreat?
Celebrity justice.
This is one of many.
Michael, as your defense attorney,
But I have something there with many children.
Michael.
Thousands of children.
Michael.
Doing all kind of crazy stuff.
Michael.
You know, everything you can imagine.
Shut up.
Thousands upon thousands of children. Children all over the world.
Shut up.
Many, many, many children. Thousands of children.
Mike.
They want love. They want to be touched.
Michael.
When Macaulay Culkin were little,
Mr. Jackson.
Kieran Culkin was sleeping on this side. Macaulay Culkin's on this side. His sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed. I have a sick mind, yes.
Sounds like a pedophile.
I'm a pedophile. Of course, why not?
Oh.
He's totally for sex.
Celebrity justice.
It's 12:18. If this fax is correct, by the way, we are going to have music till 2 o'clock and for the foreseeable future.
I was just told that it's not correct, other than the EAS business.
Other than the what?
The EBS, which is now the EAS.
What does that got to do with dumping stuff we're talking about?
That's what I'm saying. According to the power that be, we were not being dumped.
So evidently, this fax we just got here is from an agent provocateur who's trying to stir the pot in Coral Springs. So blow out your exactly, okay? A faxer who says, during the last few minutes, you've been dumped numerous times. It says, I heard Stern this morning during a Hank commercial. He was farting. Happy birthday to somebody. Why can he do it on another beat? Oh my, you know something? That is incredible. This is even better than the other fax.
Yeah.
He was farting happy birthday to someone. Why can this is on the Beasley station in Fort Myers that our company owns over there. Mm-hmm. And your show is chopped up. Where's the consistency? You should walk out. QAM deserves Mo. The more I think about it, the more I think this factory's got a point. Well, that's what I should have done today. As soon as they came out, of course, it caught me off guard with such a shock. I should have said, hey, as soon as you decide what you want, I'll come back. Otherwise, blow it out your ass. That's a good point. They're still carrying the Stern show over there in Fort Myers on whatever that station is. There's the Beasley station. He was farting happy birthday, and I guess Joyce has no problem with that. But if we dare have a fart sound on the air on this station, not that we can't live without the fart sounds, but it's just an example to show you the kind of lengths that they're going to try to cut our balls off here on this radio station, so we can't do anything to kind of guarantee our failure. I mean, if they want us to fail, then why not tell us that? Unfreaking believable. Oh, by the way, happy anniversary, Neil. Thank you. Thank you, Duff and Clarence and Greg. Of course, Greg was, as usual, AWOL. You know, when the going gets tough, the tough get out of the country. The tough go on vacation. Like that first, I mean, could we ever forget that first day on this radio station? After lie after lie, threat after threat that we had to hold their feet to the fire to get that make-believe studio on the second floor finished. And after nobody in their right mind believed that we'd have a studio ready to go on the air on that December 30th, 7 years ago, 7 years plus, 7.25. Mm-hmm. And so Greg takes the family, and they get on a plane, and they go out of town to Chicago, because God forbid he would have been around, because he knew it was probably going to be a disaster. And right till like a few minutes before we got on the air, we didn't even know if we were going to get on the air. Remember that?
Of course. How could I forget? And the fact that we worked through the night to get some bits in there because the DCS wasn't running until 9 o'clock the night before.
Right.
Don't forget about that.
Oh, man, I think the book is the good idea. I think talking to Tom Jicka, my bald-headed good personal friend, I think after the show, that's a good idea, too. You want one hell of a story, Tommy, I'm ready. Of course, he isn't going to print it anyway.
Right.
He's also been neutralized.
We'll call Barry Jackson.
Barry don't speak to me. Barry don't recognize me, and I wouldn't dignify him anyway. Barry Jackass, that little brown paper bag carrying piece of turd, I wouldn't talk to him. Like a lump on your ass. That's Barry. WQAM, hello.
Neil, happy Monday.
Back to you.
Wonderful. Listen, you know what they deserve to monitor? Eddie's voicemail with boing, 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 boing all for the next 2 hours.
Let's play it all the way through the rest of the day. I think it's a good idea. Since they're busy promoting Chris Bush, I think that guy had a good point. Huh? Yeah. Endless loop. Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow for 4 hours.
All right, I'll be here for that.
Let me correct myself. Maybe you'll do that tomorrow for 4 hours.
I'll be happy to. With some Requiem music in the background.
Right, that would be good. Keep the music going. It's perfect. As President Bush campaigns to change Social Security, needs to win over independents, married women, and Southerners, people who tend to support him on terrorism, but have indicated doubts about his plan for the retirement program. Just over a third of Americans, 37%, approve of Bush's handling of Social Security, an AP poll found. When it comes to Bush's strong suit, handling foreign policy and terrorism, 52% approve. They like all those dead people in Iraq, including the Americans. A majority of Americans, 56%, say they disapprove of Bush's handling of Social Security. A similar number in a recent poll by the AP opposed the creation of personal investment accounts, a proposal central to Bush's plans. Like I said, let's let you take all the money to the track. Okay, all your retirement money, just take it to the track. Oh, that's right, I forgot his brother, our fat-ass governor, he don't like gambling. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll play the lottery with it then, something he does like.
There you go. Play that Florida lottery. That's a really good bet. I see somebody in Hallandale won $20 million. I hope it wasn't Sonny Rosenberg.
Oi!
567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. A day that will live in infamy. March 14th, 2005. Another day in hell with Joyce and the Beasleys. Now let me ask you, is Greg back from his vacation?
Yes.
You've seen him there? He is actually back?
No.
You just know that he's back?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that having been said, since he's supposed to be the general mangler, and since he's got his tentacles all over and footprints all over everything that goes on, unfortunately, where is he in the middle of all of this?
I don't know.
You see, I'm afraid that Joyce has rendered him impotent. She has chopped off his glands.
Double cut!
Too late. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry. I had to
That's okay. Everybody's got to go sometime.
You know, you brought back some memories that you were raving about just a minute ago about your first day on the air.
On QAM.
December 30th. I was your very first call at QAM.
Wow.
And I was calling from New York. I remember panicking because the numbers changed at the time, saying, I got to get on. And you were raving. I remember your first line was, George Corso is God. And I meant, boy, what a difference a few years make. Because in order for him to get that studio going.
No, at that time it was true. He had to work day and night to get all that pasted together equipment going in a make-believe studio. It didn't take too long, though, because I remember not too many weeks afterward when we couldn't get on the air.
Right.
And Corso was over at the old trailer, the old dump that they used to be broadcasting from there on, where the hell was it, George?
Oh, in Pembroke Pines.
In Pembroke Pines. And we needed desperately to get an engineer to get him over there because we had technical problems inside our studio. And the word was his car was in the shop. He couldn't get a ride.
And through all
remember
this,
that, George? His car was in the shop. He couldn't get a ride. That's how much he cared about getting us back on the air.
And through all of that fall, they're all Greg Reed out of town. I remember it clearly on vacation.
He was on another busman's holiday. And, like I said, when the going gets tough, the tough hop out of plane and then take off. They haul ass.
Well, early in the show, before they started beeping you and you were telling your story, they did allow the name of the individual's name did get out on the air.
Yeah.
Not that it was anything new to any of us.
No, of course not.
And you are aware that back in the day in college, there was a college football player of the same name called the Throwin' Samoan.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you can be fined for mentioning a college football player.
Oh, first of all, you can't be fined for mentioning anybody's name on the air. This is just their own Joyce panicking and them panicking, and then Joyce tells Norma, oh well, if he wants to do it, they don't know what the hell they want. They've gotten themselves in such a pile of crap, and again, none of it having to do with me, all of it having to do with Ferrall and putting Stern on the air, because they won't listen to anybody, including me. They know best, and then all the rest of us have to pay a wicked price for it.
And all this crap because of a Super Bowl halftime show with two nobodies. It's insane. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got me in this. You want.
Yeah, but don't forget that was just an excuse when you're dealing with a bunch of fascists. That was just an excuse to impose their will and to start, clamping down on everybody.
Well, collect the paycheck and do what you got to do.
Yeah, play a lot of good music.
There you go.
Hey, have a great day, pal. Good hearing from you.
Bye.
Like that, there's our first caller from QAM. Oh, if we'd known then what we know now, we already had a pretty good idea. Yeah. We already had a really good idea. We're working for a bunch of crazy people. Like that. Inept. Idiotic. Unreachable. Absolutely unreachable. You can't get to them, man. You can't talk any sense to these people. But Greg is intrigued by it. I remember Barry Jackassy was feeding him that line over and over again. And, of course, that was when they were screwing over Joe Rosen, stringing him along. And then, oh, guess what, Joe? You're out. We got Howard on there. Well, like I said, not knock at Howard, but the fact of the matter is he can't be on in this market, not if you want to keep your license. I tried to tell him that. Would they listen to me?
No.
Would they listen to anybody?
No.
And wasn't Joyce there when this was all going on?
Yeah.
Joyce, look in the mirror, honey, if you got a strong stomach. I realize it's in the middle of lunch hour. Look in the mirror. Look at your own failings. Look at your own screw-ups, honey. It ain't a pretty picture. If your carpets aren't a pretty picture, there's something you can do about it, and that is you can call the experts at Dry Concepts. I've been using these folks for almost a lifetime now, it seems like it. At least once a year I have them come to my home, and this is a variety of homes over the past 20 years, and they dry clean my carpets and make them look just like brand new, even when I had the dogs. And believe me, that little dog especially used to do a number on my carpets like you wouldn't believe, even worse than Joyce is doing to us, if that's possible. And after Dry Concepts finish, you just look around and think, hey, there was never anything bad on those carpets. They look just like brand new. And, of course, when they get done, because they use a rapid drying technique, your carpets are dry in just an hour and a half. You really can clean today and entertain tonight. Nobody does it better, and nobody else gives you a written guaranteed price up front before they start the job either, so you don't have to worry about rip-offs when you get your carpets cleaned. Also, your furniture, your drapery, your expensive area and oriental rugs, all of these things. Call Dry Concepts today, toll-free. I guarantee it. They'll never let you down. Call 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071, or on the wicked web, it's dryconcepts.com. Dry Concepts, making carpets clean in South Florida since way back in 1979.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
I don't know what you heard about me, but 50 Cent ain't known for bravery. 'Cause when the bullets be flying at me, I run as fast as can be. I don't know what you heard about me, but when they shooting out in the street, you see me running as fast as can be. 'Cause I'm a WIMP. Now shorty, when they shooting guns in the neighborhood, I ain't no one to stick around, I'm out of the good. Shoot out's my league, 50 Cent lying in the ground. Now beside the leak like a faucet when I'm full of holes now. Mama always told me guns were dangerous, man. I'd rather be a famous living than a famous dead man. Next time you hear of me involved in some shootout, I'm gonna play it safe and run and just chicken out. I don't know what you heard about me, but 50 Cent ain't known for bravery. 'Cause when the bullets be flying at me, I run as fast as can be. I don't know what you heard about me, but when they shooting out in the street, you see me running as fast as can be. 'Cause I'm a WIMP.
Well, that sure fits in today, doesn't it? Fits right in with our management and with our corporate attorney over there on the West Coast. 1233 at 560 WQAM. Here's a fact. Now, this story, I saw this on the news over the weekend. This is the kind of important stuff that the media passes along to us. Mm-hmm. All these studies that are done. Wait till you hear this. Study finds soap and water are best for clean hands.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
God.
So I just had to get
I don't want to
this,
tell you what I had been using. I guess I better switch.
You better watch it now. You're going to get dumped any second. Just thinking about whatever you're going to say. Forget about actually saying it. You haven't got a Chinaman's chance in hell of saying it. I got news for you. This whole new deal is going to stop very quickly. As in, I'll put up with this today just to humor them, and believe me, there's no humor in it. But this is going to stop as of 2 o'clock. Because if they think that I'm going to come here under these circumstances every day, this is not part of our deal, okay? This is not the way it works. This show isn't jeopardizing the license of this radio station in any way, shape, or form. We have sanitized this show to such a degree, even if you bleached your hands instead of using soap, even if you used Clorox bleach, bleaching them to the point where all the skin peeled off, you couldn't sanitize them any more than what we're doing with this show. So unless Norma Kent or the powers that be there can bring Joyce back and put at least one toe on the ground and back to the real world, forget about this kid. They can blow this place right out their bottom. Because this is totally unacceptable is what it is to me. It's a slap in the face. That's it. Put him on the air. Put him on middays. Get some big numbers in there.
Absolutely.
Mom was right. If you want to get your hands clean, good old-fashioned soap and water work best. A new study by infection control specialists at the University of North Carolina Hospitals confirms the best way to get germs off your hands is with soap and water. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
This is what America is spending their money on.
I'm just curious as to what alternatives they were considering.
Grease.
Okay.
Slop. Sand is good. Glass. Researchers tested 14 hand hygiene agents plus tap water against specific bacteria and viruses applied to the hands of 62 adult volunteers. Soap and water, or microbial soap and water, were shown to be the most effective at removing viruses and bacteria. Among the viruses, soapy hand washing flushes down the drain is the one that causes the common cold. Other viruses that were removed were those that cause hepatitis A, stomach flu, and a host of other illnesses. Hand wipes were the least effective. They only removed about half the bacteria from volunteers' hands. First of all, anybody who uses hand wipes is, a silly person. Plus, they stink.
They're free.
They stink.
That depends on which one you're using.
Waterless alcohol-based agents had variable and sometimes poor effects, becoming less effective after multiple washes. Emily Sickbert-Bennett, the study's lead author, said soap and water works better over repeated use because water washes germs down the drain. So it's always a good idea after you scrub, wash it off, okay?
So I'm doing everything wrong.
The author said the waterless rubs and wipes, users never rinse their hands. They just rub a chemical into their hands and let them dry. So all that schmutz just dries right there into your skin. Still, hand rub solutions are considered highly effective, especially if there's no available alternative. The study also looked at how long it takes to wash it. Oh, this was a very important study, and I'm sure our tax dollars paid for it.
Hey, don't stop now.
How long it takes to wash hands properly. Previous research had tested people who cleaned their hands 30 seconds or more.
About 30, man.
But Sickbert-Bennett said the average length of time busy healthcare professionals spend washing their hands is only 10 seconds. Well, any idiot can tell you 10 seconds ain't going to do it. We wanted to test the products under realistic conditions, she said in a news release. The researchers found that hand washing for just 10 seconds eliminated 90% of the bacteria, and that was the case for all the different hand washing methods tested except hand wipes. So what does that mean? Oh, in other words, 10 seconds will do it? Just a quick dab will do it. Right. The quicker picker-upper. How's Rosie doing? She's still dead?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. 816 votes on the poll. I have no idea I know what tomorrow's poll is going to be. Oh, I got to change it again. 816 votes. If Hillary and Condoleezza ran for president in 2008, you would. Vote for Hillary, 482. Leave the country, 183. Condoleezza, 93. Oh, please, Condoleezza. That's Dr. Rice. And wouldn't vote, 58. Got it?
Got it.
Our liberal crowd, they like Hillary. Maybe they don't like her, but, that's what they got. WQAM, hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I've been listening all day, and I'm sorry you're having such a cruddy Monday.
The worst thing for diabetes is stress, okay? I think what they're doing to me between the contract negotiations and what they pulled at 9:56 this morning, I think this constitutes a massive, gigantic lawsuit. About $50 million is what it sounds like to me.
Absolutely, and I think you should include the moron in Coral Gables. I'm sick of him, and I'm sick of him dictating what I can listen to, but while we're on the subject, Duff Lindsay needs to stop taking his check, because if that guy in Gables is going to dictate programming, he should be getting paid as programming director, don't you think?
Yeah, well, Duff and Clarence, between the two of them, man, I'll tell you, they're a powerhouse 1-2 punch. Make no mistake about it.
And I also want to praise you. I'm not tinkling, but a lesser talent would have been broadcasting fax numbers for Fort Myers to get this reversed. You fight your own battles, and that's why I think you got such a devoted
let me turn it around, though, for you. A smarter guy would have gotten up and gone back to bed and said, George, if you want to do it, fine. If not, just play music and go to hell. I very seriously, it just happened so fast and caught me off guard. I didn't even have time to think about what I was going to do. I should have just told him to shove it. I'm not going to work under these circumstances every year. It's ridiculous.
Well, is it possible that you found people who know less about broadcasting than Lowell Paxson?
Yeah.
He bought IOD and stripped the two most valuable assets he had, and now if QAM loses you...
I got news for you, sir. Bud Paxson was a rocket scientist compared to the Beasleys. He was a genius.
That's a dangerous thought.
I'm serious. George and I were talking about that earlier. That's a fact.
Well, by the way, as far as that name, and I did hear it come over the air twice, so I was proud of you for that. The actor who played the gay son on Dynasty had that name, too, so if you want to refer to him as that, maybe that'll make his day.
Oh, the actor wasn't gay. Oh, God. Now you're really going off the deep end.
No, the character was. Yeah, so I know he's homophobic, so maybe that'll make his day. If you instead of using his name, just call him the gay son from Dynasty.
Have a great day, Pally.
You too, pal.
See you. Now, it's 20 till 1, and didn't I mention to you that I need copy for Pompano Park? But, you see, Curtis, our sales manager, he's not going to see that they give me any copy until I stop talking about him on the air. See, I hate to break the news to you, Curtis. I don't want the copy for me. I want it for the client. I know that's something that you can't relate to and that our sales mentality isn't aware of. We need copy that I don't have. I have nothing. I got generic, which I guess I'll do my best, but I know that for sure there's stuff that ought to be starting today. Now, little Troy, who of course is another one of those rehab projects that we got.
Troy!
One of those ex-Dolphin players. He's a good guy. I like him a lot, but unfortunately when it comes to like servicing the accounts and doing copy ain't us. That's his thing, you know? Copy ain't us. Copy ain't me. I mean, we don't have any new Pompano Park copy, do we, that I'm missing that is sitting around here somewhere?
No, I don't have any on me, no.
No. You don't have any on you?
Not copy, anyway.
No. How about some... Hey, all you horse racing fans and poker players, Pompano Park Racing and Poker has the gambling action that you are coveting, man, that you're just dying for. Just a half mile from both I-95 and the Florida Turnpike, Pompano Park features free admission and free general parking every day. As a matter of fact, when you go to Pompano Park, find my good friend Dick Feinberg, and he'll give you a song to dance about how our drivers at Pompano Park are every bit as good as the driving colony at Woodbine. And just stand there and just laugh and laugh. Oh, yeah, Dick, that's Dave Ingraham. Yeah, like that. He's got a good sense of humor. Live harness racing in the poker room, open every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday like today. Poker starts at noon. In other words, it's underway already today, goes till midnight. And live racing gets underway tonight at 7:25 and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And, of course, simulcasting from tracks all around North America every day, 7 days a week, daytime and nighttime, too. Pompano Park, a block south of Atlantic Boulevard on Powerline Road. For the current racing schedule, call 954-972-2000 or go on the Wicked Web at pompanopark.com. Don't forget, poker's going on right now. First post time tonight, 7:25 at Pompano Park.
You're listening to Neil Rogers. On 560 QA.
Lollipop, little boy?
This station presents Real American Heroes.
Real American hero.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Kiss Me, I'm Irish button wearer.
Mr. Kiss Me, I'm Irish button wearer.
Each and every St. Patrick's Day, you place that pin on the lapel of your ugly green blazer in the desperate hope that someone might take you up on your offer.
But nobody ever does.
Sorry, Mr. Kiss Me, I'm Irish button wearer, but there's nothing smoochable about a mouth that was vomiting green beer not 20 minutes ago.
You still have some on your chin.
How about drinking some green mouthwash instead?
It's even got alcohol in it.
So the next time you're invited to lock lips with a liquor-soaked leprechaun look-alike, pucker your mouth and say, go found your shillelagh, Clancy, to Mr. Kiss Me, I'm Irish button wearer. A real American hero.
Mr. Kiss Me, I'm Irish button wearer.
Where's a potato famine when you need it?
Rectum. Yeah, kiss that. It's 12:47 at 560. So did I mention that Norma Kent spoke with Joyce for 40 minutes this morning?
You did mention it.
From about 9:10 till about 9:50. He sure did an effective job, didn't he? Oh, yeah, nice going, Norma. She sure got the job done. And calling off the hysteria and calming her down and getting her not to intercede and create all this madness we have going on and ruining our show and ruining my day and yours and everybody else's too, and causing Duff and Clarence to be sitting there listening to this non-sport show for 4 hours, which Duff may enjoy, but I'm sure Clarence is just bitterly offended. That's for you. That's a raspberry, by the way, Clarence. They better not dump that. Raspberry. Fruits are good for you, baby. I bet you Duff knows that. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. Oh, look at those phones, man. Are they smoking or what, huh?
They're smoking something.
WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm high. Try to...
Great. 567, nope, not one call on the board. Like I said, I think the music is a good idea. I think it's magnificent. Yeah.
Oh, you got some. That's cool.
I beg your pardon? Oh, I got mine. I got Burton Cummins,
good.
My slot machine playing buddy.
Can we say his name anymore?
No, I don't think so. I got Burton things. Certainly can't say the first syllable, I'll guarantee you that. Plus, he's breathing too hard on there anyway. Cut it out, Bert. People are starting to talk. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, why are they giving you the business here? I think you're doing a great job, and, why don't you tell Joyce to stick it up her ass?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, Joyce, stick it up your ass, this caller says.
Fantastic. Neil, you have a great one.
Then back to you. So what does that mean if I tell her that? That's what Norma should have told her. He should have told her that if they start messing with his show, there's going to be a lawsuit. Because when they hear the word lawsuit, these people tend to just shrivel up.
Absolutely.
They just lose it. They shrivel like into a little puddle because they're panic people. Especially since this one person, her last name rhymes with bitch. Since this individual came along to be our corporate attorney, man, she has turned this place upside down, inside out. And what you did to me this morning, Joyce, with your two partners in crime there, this is absolutely unconscionable. I wouldn't do it to Hitler. We wouldn't do it to Osama, what you did to me in this show this morning. All the years that I've been in, since I was 17 years old, 45 years in this horseball business, and in my wildest dreams, I have never encountered anything like that. But these people just don't understand it. They don't know what it means to do it. It was the same way at IOD to a degree, not this degree, but it happened a couple of times. Right before the show, they would tell you something that would put you in a really surly, sour mood, and then wonder why you were like in a bad mood for 4 hours. Yeah, how can I ruin your day, And see, the individuals that are monitoring right now, the flunkies, it's gotten lately where I enjoy ruining their day because they keep coming back and asking me the same silly-ass question of how everything is, and I keep telling them the same thing, and nothing ever changes. Just like that piece of copy we just had. Pompano Park shouldn't pay for that spot. I think we ought to take Curtis at his word. Said if we have any copy that isn't fresh, that hasn't been redone, we ought to just cross the spots out. When in doubt, cross them out. If everybody else can file for Chapter 11, why not? If Kmart can do it, it's good enough for us, right?
Right.
And the way these people are running this joint, I think that could be next. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Been trying to get in touch with you for a while.
Here I am. Touch away.
Long time, Uncle Neil. And, you used to talk about health issues and, the floating eye things and all that stuff. Are you still allowed to talk about the roids?
Roids?
Roids.
Go ahead.
I got a serious question, Uncle Neil, and I'm not trying to joke
around. You say
around.
Uncle Neil once more, they're going to put you in jail.
All right, I won't say it. You get those things going on back there, like where the big start, whatever.
Oh, we're not going to talk about hemorrhoids there. You're serious? We're not going to talk about hemorrhoids on the day that they're sitting there with their finger on it. Well, of course, maybe that's where they got their finger, on each other's. Rectum. That might be it. I bet you if Clarence or Duff have got roids right now, I bet you they could probably describe each other's pretty well because they got their finger on it. Isn't that what we heard?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, my paper's starting to get all screwed up in my fax machine.
Uh-oh.
Whistle a tune or something.
Why should I whistle? We got professionals.
Yeah, my paper was turning Chinese. It was on a slant.
All right.
Anyway, cut the crap. Here's the day. It says, since today you this is cute. You refuse to sign the 18-page manifesto of the Beasleys' do's and don'ts. You lay down the gauntlet for Joyce to figure out another way to sanitize you regardless of your contract. Mandich will be next, it says. Remember, you are the only non-sports show, and all those sports holes are working behind your back to eradicate you from the air. Well, I got a simple solution for that. Write a check, okay? I'll take 60 cents on the dollar. How's that for the next 4 years? I'll go 50 cents. How's that? Write a check right now.
50 cents.
And I'll go, huh?
You take 50 cents.
50 cents. I'll be gone so fast you wouldn't know if it hit you right in the ass. Then it says, get a real agent or lawyer. Since I started listening to you on WIOD 94, you've been complaining about his ineptness. I always thought it was part of your act. I see now it is unfortunate reality. And then, of course, he continues emailing me these sorry-ass things about, well, this one did this and this one said, you know something, I don't care what anybody did. The fact of the matter is you're supposed to be the hotshot. You're supposed to be the one that got Joyce straightened out and put her feet to the fire and told her that if you start messing with the show, you're going to sue her ass. It says, can you personally go after the Coral Gables individual for restraint of trade? Oh, we've been down that road before. That was already done years ago. We were finished with this business. And now all of a sudden, and it says, remember your new credo, collect the check. Right. No, that's not my new credo. That's Berkeley in sales. That's her credo. Just collect the check. Just cash the check. Yeah, get some copy, you silly-ass bitch. That's the problem with this joint is that nobody wants to do their job, and nobody there is willing to make them do their job. The biggest bunch of slackers I have ever worked with in my life. I mean, I've worked over the years with some real losers, man, and some real lazy-ass bastards who just were faking their way through life. But we stand out in that category, man. We may not be number one in the ratings anymore, but we're number one in that in indifference. We just refuse to give a crap. Just cash that check. Hey, Berkeley, go out and sell a new client, okay, for once in a year. How's that pizza joint coming, by the way, she had coming on the air? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They must have eloped with the same guy with that big bright smile on his face, who's popping them Zantac 150s. These people talk a good game, bop, 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 bop. And you know something? It no money out of my pocket. But the fact that they actually have somebody on here who wants to do a job for the client, who actually has just a little bit of a conscience. I can't have much because I work for these people, but just a tiny little bit of a conscience. They don't understand that. It's not in their vocabulary. It is absolutely unbelievable to them. They can't relate. Berkeley. P.S. I sent you the facts about being bleep before. I wasn't trying to stir up crap, but they also used the EBS signal to bleep Howard Stern. Now, they weren't in his waning days. Did they really?
I don't believe that.
Let me say it again. The Howard Stern experiment was absolutely unacceptable. It was necessary and totally impossible to succeed. I could have told them that. They didn't need a consultant. They didn't need a rocket scientist. I told them that for free. No extra charge. Free. It's going to blow up in your face. It's going to be a disaster. And the fact that they have the show on the air in Fort Myers and they're putting Howard farting away over there, the reason for that is because there's one individual who doesn't live in Fort Myers. He lives in Dade County. And that's the reason that we all have to, go through this crap. And if there's anybody who wants to keep that a secret, guess what? I'll come down and I'll buy billboards to put it out. How do you like that? So that the public knows exactly who's sticking it to them and why they can't hear what they want to hear and read what they want to read and see what they want to see and the kind of garbage that goes on in the U.S., eh? Thank God for Canada, baby. That's all I can tell you. And this ain't no picnic. This ain't no paradise. They got their few, Calgary-type redneck Yahoo mugwumps, but they're outnumbered. 12:56 at 5. Am I getting a little bit worked up here?
Oh, a little bit.
Not good. Stress kills, baby. For diabetics, stress kills. Lawsuit. Big, fat, multi-billion-dollar lawsuit. You better get yourself some new clothes, Joyce, instead of that burlap sack that Norma tells me you wear. Oh, yeah, he said she's a real piece of work. Hey, when you shop for quality footwear, great selection and professional service, you know by now I'm talking about our good paisans at Brandy's Shoes in Pompano Beach. They've been doing it right by you and your feet for years and years. At Brandy's, the sales holes make sure you get a perfect fit every time by giving you friendly professional service. They have unbeatable prices every week. And at Brandy's, you'll find top quality names like Sperry, Timberland, Rockports, SAS, Florsheim, and all the other top names in the shoe business. You can't beat them with a stick. Brandy's is open every day of the week for your shopping convenience, too. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sundays 10 to 5, and you'll find Brandy's at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. It's always worth the trip, no matter where you're hanging it out. And right now, this week is a great time to buy Florsheim at Brandy's. Take 20% off on all great men's styles, so be sure to come into Brandy's this week or do your shopping online, if you like, at brandysshoes.com.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
We drive pickup trucks and we don't wear bling. We don't talk our songs, we like to sing. We drink a little beer, we smoke a little pot. Heavens, we don't get shot. Our rims don't spin, we don't wear suits. We got big belt buckles and cowboy boots. We don't drive a Benz or own a yacht. But heavens, we don't get shot. Well, we're not the kind of folk who live our lives hating, but at a square dance we're all participating. We may own guns, but they're strictly for hunting. Thank God we don't get shot. Well, we have a good time in a whole darn tent. No one's dodging bullets from 50 Cent. We don't have East Coast, West Coast wars. We'd rather drink a Coors. We'd rather make love than shoot to kill. Nobody ever tried to put a cap in Faith Hill. We kiss our cousins but follow the law, except maybe Tim McGraw. Well, we're not the kind of folk who live our lives hating, but at a square dance we're all participating. We may own guns, but they're strictly for hunting. Thank heavens we don't get shot.
It's the American way, baby. 102 at 560 WQAM. A lot of shooting up going on, including South Florida over the weekend. A lot of people getting their pent-up frustrations out of the way, right?
Right.
Probably in time for St. Patty's Day, when everybody gets drunk, and then they go around shooting everybody up. What is sure is loud, isn't it?
That's all right.
Good. House Majority Leader Tom DeLay traveled to Britain with his wife, several aides and lobbyists on a $70,000 junket, mostly paid for with money from an Indian tribe and a gambling services company, the Washington Post reported Saturday. Not long after the outing, Representative DeLay, the second most powerful Republican in the House of Representatives, played a key role in killing gaming-related legislation opposed by the company and tribe. Must have just been a coincidence, don't you think?
Of course.
DeLay reported in House Financial Disclosures that the week-long May 2000 trip was paid for by the National Center for Public Policy Research, a nonprofit organization. However, the Post reported lobbyist Jack Abramoff suggested the trip and arranged for two of his clients, the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians and E-Lottery, Inc., to send checks to the center to cover the cost of the travel. A lawyer for the tribe and an E-Lottery official said they were unaware the checks were meant to pay for the delayed trip, which included golf at Scotland's legendary St. Andrews course. Oh! All right. Nice going, Tom, baby. You go, boy. Speaking of Indians, I guess I'm not going to bother with that story about the Indians, what was it, the Seminoles?
What about them?
Where's that story? Is that on today, Josh?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. It was over the weekend, I guess. Hey, listen, wherever you find the Indians, man, you find some strange stuff going on.
Killer.
That's right. Just like all those ads they paid for back in November. Oh, those slot machines are going to be the death of us all. Right, unless we get them. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless line. I think my brains are becoming a little bit unscrambled, which is good because we only got 56 minutes to go. Not that I'm counting you, understand?
See?
Right. WQAM, hello.
Hey, what's going on, Neil?
Welcome to Hysteria Central, sir.
Oh, my goodness. I got to tell you, man, I'm sitting here thinking about this. And, you know, this goes back to the first time they started to do this. It was the Condoleezza thing, right?
Well, that wasn't the first time, but that was a big one, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that was a big incremental thing, okay? And you kind of had to give in to that one. And, you know, I think the younger version...
Didn't kind of have to. I mean, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you gave them that, and now look what they're doing. They know they had an opening, and they're taking more and more.
Well, just a minute. When you say I gave them that, did I have an alternative?
Well, no, but, I think a younger deal.
Especially with a wimpy attorney like I got. It's got nothing to do with younger or older. I mean, you weren't involved in that meeting, man. I mean, that was they just capitulated. Somebody threatened them, and they caved in like they always do. These people have got the balls of a fruit fly.
Yeah,
they like to talk a good game, but when push comes to shove, man, they cave.
Yeah, but if you would have stood up at that time, you might have been able to beat it. Maybe you'd have lost your job.
You're
stood up for your right.
Yeah, right. And been out there at the soup line, been out in the soup kitchen. I'm sure you would have written me a check every month to keep me going to pay all my bills.
Hey, the same thing happened to me in ham radio. The FCC came to my house to tell me that my subject matter was out of control. They didn't like it, and they wanted me to stop it. And it was a very, secretive meeting from them. And it was the same kind of a thing. I had to decide, do I want to get out there and risk my livelihood and get thrown in jail or exercise my freedom of speech?
Yeah.
And I exercised my right not to get thrown in jail, and I shut the hell up. It's too bad that we have to do that.
Oh, so in other words, you caved in.
I did. I absolutely did.
Well, then how come you're lecturing me that I shouldn't have caved in, that I should have stood up for my rights?
You got more money than me to live on. I got a wife.
Oh, I see. So in other words, I should cut my income off is what I should do. Okay, good luck to you, pal. Look for your check in the mail next week. Give them the address.
Okay.
5670560 #560. Everybody else has really got big balls in your shoes. In their own shoes, they got like a search party. They're old smoothies. But when they're in your shoes, well, a guy like you in your position, and again, when you got Norma Kent, who just lives up to her name all the time. Oh, well, this is all taken care of, and this is all bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-ba, talks a good game, and then all of a sudden it just blows up in your face all over again. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't think it will ever get all taken care of. That's my personal belief.
Right.
And that's one of the cancers of being on radio in that market. It's impossible. That's our luck. Other people work in markets. They do their show. Granted, they got the new FCC restrictions, but they don't have somebody who's out to destroy them, to tell them to control everything they can say and do. And that's what we got. We've got the community censor. And Norma, I'm telling you, once upon a time you did a fine job. That's many years ago. But lately it's like bada beep, bada boop, bada bop, and I'm going to do this and and it doesn't happen. And I keep hearing the same crap month after month after month. It doesn't happen. But up until today, it didn't have any impact on me or the show directly. I mean, indirectly, yes, but not directly. But today it does. And today is the last day that I'm going to operate under these circumstances. There is absolutely no way that this crap that's going on today is going to happen again tomorrow or ever again. I won't do it. It's a slap in all of our face. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, a couple things. Are you still going to be allowed to push the gay button? And when is the...
Yeah, right. Okay, the gay button. Look in the mirror, sweetheart. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Okay.
Listen, I want to know why our good-for-nothing Congress people waste our time and our money making all these stupid baseball players admit that they use steroids when they have bigger issues to take care of than that. Why?
Call them up and ask them, okay? Call up your Congress people. Ask them why they're wasting your money. WQAM, hello.
Yes. How you doing,
yes,
Neil?
Sir. Okay.
Am I on the air?
It sounds just like you.
Neil, I don't know. Have you been watching this interview with Ashley Smith, the girl that was...
Yeah, I saw it, and enough to make me puke my guts out, yes.
Apparently kidnapped or something.
I was tired of it 2 days ago, yes.
Do you really believe that story?
I don't know.
It sounds to me like she's making this whole thing up.
Let me put it this way. I don't know and I don't care. I don't really care. But well, she didn't know the guy. She made fantastic pancakes, man. Don't be selling her story.
Well, she's going to write a book about it and probably get a $60,000 for the reward.
Book, $60,000. She's going to make millions off of this.
Well, she's going to make a book no matter what.
Right. Book and movie.
My question is, doesn't it sound kind of a phony that she probably knew the guy and they had this whole thing set up so that she could just act like
they had the whole thing set up that he was gonna grab the gun in court.
Brilliant. She probably drove the getaway car, drove her right to the top.
Hire that guy right away for sales manager or corporate attorney or both. There are no words to describe the experience that we're living through. I was going to say surviving. I'm not so sure anymore. There are no words to describe it. I mean, the idea that you're looking for somebody to get people to do their job, and the person responds by saying, oh, well, I don't want to be talked about all week long. I'm not going to go talk to him anymore. That's just an excuse. It has nothing to do with personalities. It has to do with, and you wouldn't be talked about if you got them to do something, but you're not. Ain't happening. Not cutting it, Curtis. Ain't getting it done, baby. That's our sales mangler, man. He's another one that's very uptight. He's talking about me. Well, get something done. I'll talk about you good. I'll say, hey, that Curtis, man, he's really doing a job. So one thing about me, I tell it the way I see it, okay? I call them the ways I sees them.
Yeah, see this?
Yeah, sees this. WQAM, hello. Lovely tune.
Oh, we're communicating.
I bet you that got dumped. WQAM, hello. No, that was something dirty in Espanol, I'm sure of it. Yes.
In Morse code.
Yeah, I've been counting the minutes that this would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew this would happen to you. You brought this on yourself.
Yeah, why is that, sir?
Well, I mean, when you started spewing the hate and the gayness.
Oh, that's him again. Oh, jeez. The gayness. Hey, Reverend Jones, listen, it's not too late. You can come out of the closet, although, quite frankly, who the hell would want it? Get a life. 5670560. He's right in there with Chris Bush, you know what? Let's put him on some of the promos.
I'm sure they have.
Some of those homo promos. WQAM, hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Going back to these stories, most of these guys who doing all this killing, they were once real bad guys, real big drinkers. Then all of a sudden they found the Lord, and then they start reading the Bible for 20 hours a day.
Right.
Well, when I worked at a factory back home, we had a guy like that, and he did one more thing wrong, and it was really his fault. And he went in a grievance hearing, and when they told him he wasn't going to have his job anymore, he said, "Thank the Lord, John. You're the griever. You can leave the office now, because I'm going to shoot everybody in here." and he shot 9 people, killed 2, and then you know where he ran? Ran to his church.
There you go. I bet you he's up there right now with the St. Peter man.
Yeah, he went and told his preacher that he was sorry.
They're probably laughing their ass off up there now at the pearly gates. Yeah, all these born again phonies, man. She read him the Bible. I mean, what a typical Southern story, What a great story. She read the Bible, made him pancakes with real butter.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about God and the good book.
The moral of the story is, if she'd used margarine, she would have been killed.
That's right. Shortening. What's that song about? Shoe fly pie? Shortening. Mammy like shortening. Well, that sounds like that Condoleezza song now. That's going to get dumped. Shortening bread, that's it.
I'm a little baby.
Yeah, shortening. Don't be singing that now. It's got overtones. 12 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM. The main man, Anthony Caliendo at Acceptance Capital Mortgage, knows that paying off your credit cards, lowering your debt, cutting your mortgage payments, pulling out cash and investing in real estate are at the top of your lists. Florida is one of the hottest real estate markets in the U.S., so it just doesn't make any sense at all to keep so much money tied up in your house or pay high interest rates. The main man this year is partnering with Kids in Distress, helping abused and neglected children in South Florida for 25 years. This year, his staff is donating a portion of their commission on every closed loan for this worthwhile cause. With 6 kids of his own, the main man knows how important being a parent is. So call the main man, Anthony Caliendo, toll-free, 1-888-483-LOAN. Be sure and tell him that Berkeley told you to call. 1-888-483-LOAN, or go to themainman.com and fill your application out right online. No matter what your situation, you'll find a way solution and get the deal done. Forget about calling anybody else in the mortgage business. Call the main man, Anthony Caliendo, at 1-888-483-LOAN. That's 1-888-483-LOAN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers. Correct. On 560 QAM.
If you're on the radio, you gotta use restraint. So the neocons can govern and control your brain. Don't use obscenities now.
Stop it
There's a reason for that.
They take deception by distorting the facts.
You've been officially wrong. No, you can't say that. If you're not very Republican or good Christian, then what you say on the air will be considered a sin. Don't put the president down. You'll be down for that.
Just like the body down the back from Iraq.
You've been officially wrong. No, you can't say that. Better make it clear. With reference to the Lord of Fun or the FCC. We'll find you one day and take your license away. Boy, that for all I know could be a word you avoid. Or I could have my radio still be destroyed. They'll shut the signals down.
Shut it right now. Except for White House weird neocon acts.
You've been officially wrong. No, you can't say that.
We can't say squat, okay, but do it. Might be fun. 118 at 560 WQAM. I'll tell you one thing. All these years, I've never worked on a radio station where the so-called corporate attorney was the one who was basically kind of like running the day-to-day affairs of the radio station. Have you noticed that?
You're right.
Yeah, I never heard of such a thing. And she's instructing Duff to do this and Clarence to do that, and we're going to do this on the Ill Shore. She's running it. Where's your boyfriend in all of this? Where's Mr. I need a haircut with a Brooks Brothers expensive suit on? Where's he in the middle of all this?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Where's your good, close personal buddy?
I haven't seen him.
Oh. But you said he was back.
Right, they were paging him over the intercom.
Were they really?
They really were.
What were they calling for, the paper tiger?
Not
Israel has drawn up secret plans for a combined air and ground attack on targets in Iran if diplomacy fails to halt the Iranian nuclear program. The Inter-Cabinet Ariel Sharon, the Israeli Prime Minister, gave initial authorization for an attack at a private meeting last month on his ranch in the Negev Desert. Israeli forces have used a mock-up of Iran's Natanz uranium enrichment plant in the desert to practice destroying it. The tactics include raids by Israel's elite Shaldog commando unit and airstrikes by F-15 jets from 69 Squadron using bunker-busting bombs to penetrate underground facilities. The plans have also been discussed with American officials who said to have indicated provisionally that they would not stand in Israel's way if all international efforts to halt Iranian nuclear projects failed. Well, they did it in Iraq, and that one worked out pretty good, and why not in Iran? That's one time we might actually say, hey, you go, boys, right?
You go.
You go, and don't come back. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. We're doing a little mock poll. I realize it's only a little bit too soon, but they're talking about it, baby. And I'd rather talk about this than about this Atlanta crap, this born-again buttermilk pancake thing. God, on and on and on it goes, and where it stops, nobody knows. I wonder if they're using like Aunt Jemima maple syrup on them pancakes, because it's real butter, you know.
Is it?
Real creamy butter.
worth?
I don't know. How much is it worth? 917 votes. If Hillary and Condoleezza were the candidates in 2008, before you blew your brains out, who would you vote for? Hillary, 535. I'd leave the country, 208. Condoleezza, 107. That is scary. Oh, she is scary, and that number is scary. In this audience especially, 107. And wouldn't vote at all, 67. Got enough sense to just stay the hell away. Condoleezza, man, oh man, what a thought. She sure is pleasant, though, you know.
Okay.
And got a real nice disposition. WQAM, hello. Maybe we could make Joyce the president, get her off our ass anyway. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
All right, listen, before they start jumping on you, they need to worry about Power 96 and they drop MF Friday afternoon.
Really?
DJ Laz, like two or three times in a song.
Nice.
Why are they all uptight for you dropping somebody's name on the radio?
Because Joyce is a jackass.
But why is there such a double standard there?
You ask them. Don't ask me.
You know, I'm going to be out there tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with a picketing sign and buttermilk biscuits and butter and everything and pancakes out there.
Absolutely. Don't forget real butter. Real butter,
Everybody
man.
come join me, please.
Okay. He's picking your fat, ugly ass, Joyce. How do you like that? With real pancakes and real creamy butter.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
Sounds good to me, especially with some poisonberry sauce on it for Joyce.
Still rather have waffles, though.
Or you can go to IHOP and puke your guts out there. I mean, have a real great breakfasts. 5670560, pound 560 on a Verizon and Singular Wireless line. We got only 38 minutes to go. I think we can make it. And I don't know. I'm not positive, but I think. I am illin', you know? Mm-hmm. This has been too much stress for an old diabetic fag like me. Way too much. It's just unacceptable. There's no reason for it. And you heard, if the audience could have heard the way that went down, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. The two of them in unison, like a team, they come running in there. Of course, they're always joined at the hip, those two. Oh, and we're going to be monitoring your show for FCC violations and Joyce, blah, blah, blah. Like, just before I'm going on the air. And I'm thinking, what are you two crazy bastards talking about? Isn't that what you're kind of thinking? What is this all about? What kind? I mean, who just crawled up inside your body and just started turn on the switch? The swish. WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you?
Okay.
Okay, listen. What I don't understand is you being the main guy in that station.
The main man.
They voluntarily subjected to two different FCCs, the government and then that bitch at corporate.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it. I came to Miami.
That speaks volumes. You know, we can bellyache about the FCC all we want, and legitimately so, but the fact that this woman, who is not a broadcaster by any stretch of the imagination, is allowed by the company to make up the restrictive words and phrases and sounds and everything else, this speaks volumes about their lack of ability to be real broadcasters. These people are ersatz, man. They're make-believe. These aren't real broadcasters.
Because I don't think you signed any paper that has her, that you have to follow what she said. I mean, I understand the FCC, but not her, you know?
Right.
And I don't know. It's just
She's way over. She's way out of line and over the line. And her behavior this morning and what she did to me in this show, she ought to have her ass fired right now.
Yeah. And as to Condoleezza Rice for president, this country is still so racist. I was on a business trip down in Texas, and the only time I saw black and white together was on a cow.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
don't forget, that's where they get that real butter from. See ya. Get out of here.
Yeah, it churns.
Yeah, it churns. It churns. That's what Elsie the Borden cow said. Or was that Oprah? I'm not sure. Hard to tell them apart. 5670560. Yeah, if you think that the folks in the Deep South are going to vote for a black woman, black candidate, period, but a black woman, ho. Now, we'll say this. I think that Hillary and Barack Obama, what kind of a ticket would that be, huh? Would that be an ass kicker or what?
Yeah, but, no.
No, why not?
Because she's on it.
No, but I'm saying if she were to be the candidate.
Yeah.
Hillary and Barack Obama. Because then that would counteract the effect of any dark folks that might go out and vote for Condoleezza just on a racial thing, see?
I think anyone could win opposite Condoleezza.
Yeah, she's bad news. She's a real piece of turd. That's Dr. Rice. Dr. Rice. Condoleezza. I might play
By the way,
original
she's a
one
really
now.
lousy speaker, too. I know that doesn't stop people from becoming president, but...
Oh, can you imagine those debates? Hillary would chew her up for breakfast like buttermilk pancakes with margarine. Oh, God. She wouldn't even need the real butter. She would just chew her up and spit her ass out.
Listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Coming up tonight on Inside the Behind the True Hollywood Celebrity Music Biography Profile Story. She tried very hard to be important. She really did. Isn't that just so sweet? She was Suzanne Vega.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
Yeah, Luca was a song about a boy with abusive parents. My mission was to only write music about socially relevant subjects.
Hello? Red flag. Career killer.
Suzanne Vega's manager, Slappy Gold.
The next time you heard from Suzanne Vega, she was as innocuous as could be. God love her.
Slappy drew up a new contract for Suzanne, the terms of which dictated that she could now only communicate in monosyllabic nonsense words.
Hey, Suzanne, how you doing?
Well, actually, the current political climate in this country is
what did we talk about?
Yeah,
that's better. Very good, very good.
It's just
what?
The environment.
No. Sorry, it's in the contract, honey. Come on, keep talking. That's beautiful. That's the way we like it. Yeah.
Suzanne Vega. For a few minutes, she had something on her mind. Honestly, isn't that just darling? It's a big, juicy, sopping wet look at show business. Tonight, on Inside the Behind.
131, I think she hit her thumb on it, you know. A secret FBI report has cast doubt on al-Qaeda's ability to stage another spectacular attack in the U.S. 3.5 years after the 9/11 hijackings, a year after the Madrid bombings, the network's only other major strike in the West. While the desire of the al-Qaeda leadership to attack the U.S. is not in question, the report said their capability to do so is unclear, especially in regard to spectacular operations. Contrary to statements by prosecutors and the FBI's own chief, Robert Mueller, the February report obtained last week by ABC News says the agency knows of no al-Qaeda sleeper agents in the U.S. The leaked report emphasizes it's not only Britain which is having difficulty measuring the potential threat from international terrorism. Recently, President George W. said Osama Yamama had contacted Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, al-Qaeda's chief associate in Iraq, to seek his help in planning attacks on the U.S. Keep them scared, baby. Keep them in a state of panic.
Oh, my
That's
God.
It. Just like Michael Moore said. Oh, by the way, speaking of Michael Moore, WMD, Weapons of Mass Deception. Remember that?
Right.
Documentary?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's out, I guess, huh? I guess I'm going to have to go look for it today, after I soak my head for an hour. What?
Put an ice pack on there?
No, you don't seem to understand. This was, well, maybe you do. This was mentally debilitating to me, this whole thing, and the way it was done was even worse than the actual act itself. I mean, anybody who's been in this business more than 5 minutes knows you cannot do something like what they did to me. You cannot do it. Even a disc jockey, even somebody who's just spinning records and given the time and temp, you don't do it to somebody in this business in the manner in which this was done and the timing in which it was done, which makes me really wonder. It looks real suspicious to me. And let me say it again, if you want me to fly away, all you got to do is write a check and make sure it's good. Get that Greg squiggle on it, make sure it doesn't bounce. That's all. Be the happiest day of my life. And those faxers and everybody else out there who was saying that day, you're right, I'm wrong, I screwed up, I should never, ever, especially after what they put me through and Mad Dog and Hank, after what we went through, re-signed with this bunch of grave-robbing lunatics. This isn't a business. This is monkey business. These are crazy people. These are absolute grave robbers. They don't care about us. We're garbage. We're just a necessary means to an end. That's all. A necessary evil. Especially you, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Extra evil.
WMD, Weapons of Mass Deception by Danny Schechter, which is supposed to be a great documentary. And I noticed it's on Amazon.com. And it says the film is scheduled to come out on DVD in March to coincide with the second anniversary of the invasion of Iraq. And... yada yada. It's supposed to be pretty damn good. I'm going to go out and see if I can find it. I just had saved that thing there. I just just acting. I mean, I'd rather watch that than see 54 again. Or Casino. Seriously, I'm not joking about this. Boca Brian and Joe Pesci are the same person. He only uses that wig, that silly ass wig. That's his disguise. If once he takes it off, that's different. That's Boca Brian. When he puts it on, it's Joe Pesci. Now we can play some of those Joe Pesci bits, by the way, but I have a feeling they might get exercised and then have to exorcise. Yeah, don't do it. 949 votes on there. We might crack 1,000, but I really don't care. I mean, I could have pushed for that. We could have easily gone over 1,000. But do we care today, Josh?
Sure.
No.
No?
Okay. Wrong answer. No, we don't. Que sera, sera. If Hillary, I'm not even going to read the result. It's overwhelmed. It's a landslide in this crowd. Although Condoleezza got 115 votes, we need to find those people, track them down. Just like what needed to happen in Dade County on Election Day, last Tuesday. That's what needed to happen. All you Julios out there, you screwed up. You were supposed to go find Papi and Abuela and Mamacita and then lock them in the broom closet. Lock them in the room where they keep that little box with the used toilet paper. And not let them vote. Wait till like 7:05 in the p.m. just to make sure it was safe. And then you could let them out, maybe. Right? They didn't do it.
Nope.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, it's calling Neil on that vote for Hillary or Condoleezza.
Yeah? What about it?
Why not vote for Condoleezza if you're going to stick a gun in your mouth?
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll tell Neil that he made that comment. He'll probably be too upset to hear it, though. WQAM, hello.
Hi. Is Neil there?
Speaking.
Neil?
Yes.
Hi, this is Susie from Lake Worth.
Hi, Susie from Lake Worth.
I'm your biggest fan ever.
Right.
Right. And I don't know what you're talking about right now, but I agree with you on Ashley.
Yeah, she's on again right now, by the way.
Oh, is she?
He told me that he didn't.
I think he's some kind of nut.
Hurt the agent that he hurt.
Yeah, enough is enough already, right? I don't even want her pancakes. Well, have a great day, Susie.
Okay.
Okay, and don't be calling us again. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. I'd rather hear from Chris Bush, to be honest with you. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello. QAM. Well, these are good. There's no question about it. These are special. These are the meat and potatoes, the bread and butter, the pancakes and potatoes. WQAM, hello.
567. Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
I like the way you chopped that off. That was good.
Yeah, right. Hey, Neil.
Excellent.
I can't wait till they have Michael Jackson on. You know if they're going to put him on the stand, or is he not going to be on the stand?
If they're smart, they won't put him on there, because every time he's testified, like that lawsuit about the rights to the music or whatever, every lawsuit he's ever had where he testified, he was an absolute disaster.
Oh, okay, because I figure if they're going to put him on, you know he's going to say something like, "That's ignorant and duty, pee-pee."
And that was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. He's making fun of Michael Jackson. Look in the mirror, schmuck. 5670560, pound 560. And, of course, if he did get up on a witness stand talking about milk and cookies and milk. Yeah, right.
Very special.
Well, he's got the milk confused with the Jesus juice, you know. It's just like, what's her name there? Ashley. Come on, Ashley, you can do it. Speak up, sweetheart.
He asked me what I thought he should do.
Yeah.
And I said, I think you should turn yourself in.
Inside out would be good. Put the gun in your mouth, like that guy just said. Maybe he was calling like about 30 seconds too soon. About
30, man.
He must have been psychic, know what she was going to say. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you, I've only heard bits and pieces of the show today because I've been working, but I am so upset what they're doing to you. I've been listening to you since Zeta, and I'm 34 years old, and somehow I'm not robbing banks and shooting people and beating up old ladies and doing all these horrible things for being a fan of yours. And for people to try to restrict you, it's bothering the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And
Well,
there's
this
nothing
business
I can say, nothing I can do, and it's horrible.
Yeah. Well, this business that they pulled today, this is the end. I mean, this is where I draw the line. If they want to continue with this, they can get somebody else.
Yeah, but it's so sad that all these people, I'm not a chronic, you've just been a part of my life for all these years, and it's just tragic that you've never hurt anybody. You've only helped people, and they're doing this to you, and it's just it's horrible.
Well, they're not broadcasters. They're a bunch of spineless cowards, and of course, when people are lost and they don't know what they're doing, that's when they panic and they start overreacting, and that's Joyce. She's in so far over her head, she's drowning.
Well, if I ever see her on the street, I'll hit her with a skillet over her head or something.
A skillet would be good, especially the one you used to make those pancakes with.
The pancakes, yes. As soon as I'm done with the pancakes.
Thanks. Have a
all
great
right,
day.
Neil, I love you.
See you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
I guess he saw my faith in what I really believed in. I told him I was a child of God. And
there you go, child of God. That'll do it every time, baby.
You're listening to Neil Ryan. God.
Station stands for nothing.
Absolutely.
The word police, they want to bash in my head. The word police don't like the word that I said. The word police won't be happy until I'm dead. The right-wing nuts want to protect us from ourselves. You gotta watch what you say, you better, or else you're busted, you're busted. The word police are monitoring every
George.
Why did they say this country's free?
I hereby order you to desist in using any coarse language by the power vested in me and our Lord God, Bush, the Federal Communications Commission, and my strong Nichols, Uncle Howell.
The word police, they want to bash in my head. The word police don't like the words that I said. The word police, they want my civil rights dead. The word police. The word police. The word police.
146, 1402. We got Mo Howard, David at 2. We got Mad Dog at 4. Goldie at 7, and we apologize in advance for that. And Eddie K at 10. Look out for Eddie. He could be dangerous. A radical Egyptian cleric known as Abu Omar was walking to a Milan mosque for noon prayers February of 2003 when he was grabbed on the sidewalk by two men, sprayed in the face with chemicals, and stuffed into a van. He hasn't been seen since.
Oh, my gosh.
Milan investigators now appear to be close to identifying his kidnappers. Last month, officials showed up at Aviano Air Base in northern Italy and demanded records of any American planes that had flown into or out of the joint U.S.-Italian military installation around the time of the abduction. They also asked for logs of the vehicles that had entered the base. Italian authorities suspect the Egyptian was the target of a CIA-sponsored operation known as rendition, in which terrorism suspects are forcibly taken for interrogation to countries where torture is practiced. The Italian probe is one of 3 official investigations that have surfaced in the past year into renditions believed to have taken place in Western Europe. Although the CIA usually carries out operations with the help or blessing of friendly local intelligence agencies, law enforcement authorities in Italy, Germany, and Sweden are examining whether U.S. agents may have broken local laws by detaining terrorist suspects on European soil and subjecting them to abuse or maltreatment. Wouldn't it be something if Joyce got, picked up on the street by the CIA, eh?
Yeah, it'd be something.
And disappeared for a long time. Wouldn't our lives improve dramatically on that?
Yes.
Yeah, all of us. Life would be sweet. Nothing could be finer than to lose her ass in Carolina on the way back to Maryland or wherever she came from. Bitch. 986 votes on the Condoleezza Hillary race. Hillary's kicking her ass, man. She's doing it. Like I said, at least that's a guarantee of the first Bulldyke president. Either way. What?
They go either way?
Well, although Hillary's got a husband, He could be VP, I think.
Yeah.
The Homeland Security Department's former independent watchdog says he was twice summoned to then-Secretary Tom Ridge's orifice last year and asked why his reports criticizing the agency were being sent to Congress and whether they could be presented more favorably to the department. Ridge was trying to get me not to give things to Congress and also to try to spin reports in a way most favorable to the department, and I resisted both of those, former Inspector General Clark Kent Irvin said in an interview. That's his name, Clark Kent Irvin. I wonder if he took the glasses off during the interview. In a statement, Ridge said, I didn't always agree with the tactics, interpretations, conclusions, or recommendations of the Inspector General. At no time, however, did I ever ask him to suppress or withhold a specific report. Irvin's statements are untrue and deserve no further comment, said Ridge, who left the Secretary last month. The AP approached Durbin about his meetings with Ridge after the dates turned up on Ridge's daily appointment calendars, which the AP obtained last month under the Freedom of Information Act. The AP first requested the calendars of December 2003. The department finally released them last month, 3 days after Ridge left office, when it would be more safe. And the story about washing your hands, if that wasn't powerful enough to really get you to run and scrub, wait till you hear this. I'm telling you, the stuff that they put out there, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you treat people like morons, like imbeciles, like little children, guess what? They behave like morons and imbeciles and little children. It's a dumbing down effect, man. Look at this station, for example. God. Over the years, studies have come out casting some negative light on certain foods, but Dr. Sean Kniff from the CBS affiliate in Miami, WFOR-TV, so that should tell you right off the bat, forget about it, says before you cut them from your diet, consider their good qualities as well. Consumed in moderation, they can be good for you. Eggs. We all know that eggs are high in cholesterol. In fact, a single egg has 213 milligrams of cholesterol in them, which is about two-thirds your recommended daily level. But what you may not know is that newer studies indicate they contain a substance that in lab animals block the absorption of cholesterol into your bloodstream. The key is not to prepare them in too much butter. Save the butter for Ashley so she can butter those pancakes when the next criminal comes knocking on her door. Which do you like better, the pancakes with butter or the Bible and the God? That's a good question.
I think it was the pancakes that did it.
You might consider avoiding fried eggs and instead opting for scrambled, hard-boiled, or poached eggs. Oh, there's nothing worse than poached. Salt. For years, salt's been linked to high blood pressure and heart disease, but recent research indicates the link may not be as solid as
rock solid
as once thought. The American Heart Association recommends an adult consume no more than 6 grams of salt a day, so it's okay to sprinkle some salt or fat. This is such crap, man. All the salt that they already put into your food, don't even think about that shaker, okay? Right. Even the Shakers won't use it.
Especially if it's canned food.
Even the Quakers and Shakers won't use it. Potatoes. The key, as with eggs, is to eat potatoes that aren't fried in saturated oils. Well, guess what? They're pure carbohydrates. They suck. They're bad for you. Only the potato skin is what's good for you, and 99% of people don't eat the skin. Don't say it.
I'm not saying nothing.
Bah, the hell you're not.
I'm thinking it, though. Can you feel it?
Peanut butter may contain lots of fat, but not all fats are bad for you. Peanut butter has monounsaturated, which can reduce bad cholesterol. The serving size for peanut butter is about 2 tablespoons. And then try to talk. Just put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in your mouth. That's what Joyce is going to have me do every day before I do the show. See what further impediments she can throw my roadblocks. Put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in your mouth and like that. How's that sound? Red meat. Beef is about 20 times leaner than it was a decade ago, so it doesn't have as much saturated fat as it used to. The key when buying beef, buy lean cuts such as flank steak, top sirloin, and tenderloin. And there's nothing like tenderloins. Oh, can I say that? Oh, sorry, boys. Now, last and definitely not least, the best, dark chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Research has shown that dark chocolate does a body good. They've been peddling this for so long. It's not only good for the heart, but can improve your blood flow. Dark chocolate contains lots of flavonoids which may prevent the stiffening of blood vessels. This, however, is not an excuse to go out and eat a ton of dark chocolate. Eat in moderation, not more than 2-3 pounds a day.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
It's Day in Miami town.
Absolutely.
At 560 WQAM.
Oh, yeah. What do you know? What do you say?
There's Joyce and me around here. They got no money coming in. I was kind of wondering if you could...
Oh, no. Beat it, Chuck. You ain't getting nothing out of me. Why, if I was in my car, I'd be rolling my window up right now.
And in the meantime, they ain't got a show, ain't got no job.
Not so fast, Pally. Blow it out your ass. Not a shekel are you getting out of me.
You can loan me $5.
Can't hurry, Cole. Now you just got to wait.
You know my cash don't come easy. That's why I can't tolerate bums asking for loans. No, not that you'll pay me back. I ain't no Chase Manhattan. Not one shekel out of me, that's that.
I can't stand you. You're not smart amongst the men. You just take one out the sucker with 8 spots on his head. I can't stand you. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I can't stand you. Doi, doi, doi. Yeah, I can't stand you. Doi, doi,
Speaking of, got Mo standing by. He'll be along at 2. Anyway, here's the poll result. We got over 1,000 votes. Josh Cordes is very proud of that. 1,007. How do you like that?
I told you.
It's almost like dying and going to heaven. 1,007. If Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza ran for president in 2008, who would you vote for? What would you do? What would you say? What would you... Hillary, 589. She just kicks Condoleezza's ass. But then again, that's this commie pinko crowd of ours. I'd leave the country, 225. That's how overwhelmed with nausea they would be. Condoleezza, 121. That just makes me want to gag and puke. I'm not sure who I despise more, Condoleezza or Joyce, who is more unctuous. That's one of my favorite words, unctuous.
Yeah, it's a good word.
And wouldn't vote, 72. Rhymes with, what'd you think? Anyway, that's going to do it for today. And, of course, it's been a very pleasant Monday, a wonderful way to start the week. I'll be back tomorrow unless, of course, the Joyce and other corporate individuals decide they want to continue this inquisition. See, one thing about me, I don't participate in 2 things. I don't do suspensions. I don't participate in inquisitions. And quite frankly, if she wants to continue with her hard-ass attitude, she can, as somebody earlier said more eloquently than I ever could, she could blow it out her ass.
Bye, bye, bye!